Hey, thank you, Don, and a good evening to you tonight from Sidney. Trevor Mader, Brian Bertini here with you. We've got what should be a treat of a corner conference volleyball battle tonight. Two of the top teams in the conference. It's East Mills, it's Sidney, Brian Bertini. It's a lot of fun.
Conference match coming down here. These two teams got a good history together, Trevor. You look on the wall up there. Coach Amy Clintock, 2015, 2016, 17, 18, 19, successful state tournament appearances. Coach Viner got one a couple years ago as well. These clubs no stranger to going deep in postseason, and to tell you what, when you match up conference, you're going to see some pretty good players out here, well-coached teams with good programs, and like you mentioned, Trevor, what a great Tuesday night here in September here in Sidney, Iowa.
Yeah, and these are two teams that, when you look at the corner conference, which I think, you know, for as small as it is, play some really good volleyball, are right there at the top. Probably got to throw Stanton in the mix, but however the corner conference shakes out, I think there's a really good chance that we look back at the end of the year and say this game had a big reason to it.
Sure, I think both coaches and programs kind of expect it's going to go through one of these two schools, Trevor. I mean, those have been kind of the lead. As you mentioned, Stanton and Southwest Valley, throw them in there occasionally once in a while too, but yeah, these two teams have kind of risen to the elite status in the corner conference. East Mills comes in tonight 9-6, Sidney 11-8. And, you know, this is the first time they've met this year. Last match, East Mills last week beat Griswold 3-0. Sidney beat Essex last Tuesday 3-0, and then they lost to a good Falls City, the Sacred Heart team out of Nebraska 3-0 last Thursday. So, you know, they played a really tough schedule. You look at that 11-8 record, a little deceiving, I think, Trevor, isn't it?
And they beat a state-ranked Johnson Brock team out of Nebraska. They turned around that same week, came back to beat Stanton rather, in a game we had on the CAM airwaves. So this is going to be a fun one, no doubt, here tonight. National Anthem being introduced, or being sang. Starters have been introduced already, so we're going to step aside. It's East Mills Sidney Volleyball here on the KMA video stream.
OSI is considered a premier global food provider by many of the world's leading brands. OSI delivers leading-edge food solutions for product development as well as processing, and much of it is done from their Oakland, Iowa plant. Being a leader in the industry allows OSI Oakland to give back to the communities by sponsoring area high school events, offering special programs for veterans and other community outreach programs. To learn more, visit osigroup.com and search for the Oakland, Iowa location.
For over 25 years, Chat Mobility has provided you the latest technology, competitive prices, and a nationwide high-speed network. Though important, we're a whole lot more. We serve your hometown communities, sponsor your local chambers and events. It's our goal to work hard while giving back to those who graciously support us. At Chat Mobility, our interests are much deeper than providing great service. We're just committed to serving you. To learn more, see us at chatmobility.com today.
Nutrien Ag Solutions is your leading agricultural retailer of crop inputs and expert solutions. And they're your choice in the region for top-of-the-line products and customer service. When nothing short of the best is your standard, talk with Nutrien Ag Solutions in Westboro, Missouri, Coyne, Percival, and Essex, Iowa for fall application and products. Nutrien Ag Solutions, growing your crops and your bottom line.
Dowling will set up in the middle. Payne, did she send it wide? She did, and it's 2-zip. East Mills leading early on.
Again, serves getting over the net, put the team on the defensive. East Mills just a tad sharper right now early.
And as they say that, a serve goes wide.
Of course, the ubiquitous too long a serve, right?
Sometimes we
sportscaster's curse, maybe? What do you think?
So it's 2-1 East Mills here in the first set. Trevor Mader, Brian Bertini here with you tonight. Corner conference volleyball action. And serving for Sidney. It's to be number, and it's going to be long anyway. So number 23, Maya Foster.
Well, it trade serves. Again, you trade points, which, you know, you don't want to give the team the ball back to the team here in East Mills and let them go on a little bit of a run.
So it's 3-1 now East Mills here in the first set. And the serve coming from the back row from, looks like Jenna Thornburg, who's into the game. They play it off the rafters. Dowling, back row swing by Mia Foster, and it's dropped down on the Sidney side for an East Mills point.
Jamie Davis at the front line timed that nicely for the Wolverines, put it straight down, and you know, that front line of Davis, and of course having Emily Williams, you know, 5'8", 5'9", that can jump, really puts some effective defense in the front line for the Wolverines.
Serve received to the back row by Sidney. Dowling sets up a big swing. Payne off a block, dug out Urban. Now East Mills will go to work. Viner sends it over. There, though, to get it is Emily Hutt. Dowling to Payne again. It was deflected. Dowling will bump it. Left side, pushed across by Eve Brumbaugh. Big spike of the net. Off a deflection. Scooped down in the back row. I believe that was Thornburg. Now a big swing pushed across by East Mills. Dowling setting up left side swing. Brumbaugh off a deflection. Dug out Urban. East Mills trying to get in system on the far side. Williams pushed up by Hutt. Chasing it was Payne. Somehow getting it over was Brumbaugh. We're still alive. Jamie Davis with a bump. Now Williams sends it across. What a volley we've had here in this one. Brumbaugh setting up Payne again through a block. Kept alive by Urban. Joust to the net. Return by Brumbaugh. Back to Thornburg, who can't get it over. And that long volley goes by way of Sidney.
Great volley and great reaction by both squads. Good blocking at the net, but the Wolverines kept a lot of balls alive and just good athletic court coverage right there, Trevor. And just unfortunate somebody was going to be short on a point there.
So it makes it 4-2. East Mills leading here in the first set of this corner conference battle. And serving for them is going to be Avery Dowling, a junior.
Seem to have a little maybe net malfunction here, Trevor.
You can see the stick still moving. Sidney 11-8 on the year, 1-0 in corner conference action. East Mills 9-6, 2-0 in the corner, led by head coach Connie Viner. East Mills was the corner conference champion last year. And now we're going to have the sticks changed out.
I don't think I've ever seen another sleeve. Yeah, this is a new experience for us. The sleeve looked like it really wasn't keeping the stick at that nice vertical position. And Mr. Kent Larson, the jack of all trades, knows exactly what to do. And you need something done here at Sidney, who do you call?
Kent Larson. He's no longer the AD here
he
anymore.
Is not, but he knows where everything is.
He knows a thing or two about a thing or two.
He does. So, again, it's just one of those things. You want this to be up so the stick doesn't basically become part of the outcome of the game here.
Again, if you're just tuning in, it's 4-2 East Mills here in the first set. Kind of been a little bit of a clunky start for both teams, Brian.
Well, there's a little bit of adrenaline going. I mean, Coach, Emily Williams back, as you mentioned, on the floor. There's a little bit more excitement there. And Sidney wants to defend home court here. And, both coaches know if you want to kind of get to the top here and take control of the corner conference. And they got the corner conference tournament coming up here soon, Trevor. So this is a nice little segue into that. And you want to have that leg up going into those tournaments and just get yourself to the top of the standings.
Yeah, the corner conference finals slated for September 30th in Malvern. So, I mean, whoever wins this is definitely going to have a little bit of leg up. Then you throw Stanton in there.
Well,
Griswold's been playing well.
We're at September 15th. It seems like, the 30th is a ways away, but it's only 2 weeks, Trevor.
No.
This volleyball season, once you get to the September, it just goes fast, and teams want to start playing their best ball right now.
So everything's sorted out. Here's the serve from Avery Dowling, received in the back row. Viner, they can't get it across. It went wide with Urban. Looked like Thornburg was back there as well trying to receive it, and it just didn't communicate. Makes it 4-3 East Mills, and Avery Dowling will continue to serve.
Yeah, nice serve right there. That just kind of knuckleball that died.
Underneath that one is Viner. Now here's a swing by Davis through a deflection. Was she in the net? She was. No, they're going to say Sidney in the net, and it's 5-3 East Mills.
Looks like the girl had her hand on that. I thought they might call a double hit at first on that, but as you mentioned, the net violation maybe came prior to that.
So Jamie Davis will serve from the right side. She's got 17 aces this year. Flat foot serve received in the back row by Fallon Sheldon, who's into the rotation. She bumps it over into the back row. Davis in pursuit, coming up to get it is Urban. Now Williams on the run. Back row Hutt to Dowling, who sends a free ball across. Davis had to get a palm on it and sends it long, and it's a 5-4 East Mills lead now.
Wow, Jamie Davis trying to cover that back location as Emily Williams rolled up on that, as you mentioned, that running hit. And too much court to cover, and she couldn't get there, and nice side-out point for the Cowgirls.
Emily Hutt, the libero, left-handed server, launches that one on a line, received by Kobe Viner. They'll back set it. Urban to Williams, big kill, her first of the year.
Well, the difference maker is Emily can get the jump. And
no, they're going to say
out.
They're going to say it was out. I thought it looked like it was tipped.
So did I. I thought it was in court, but this judge, the official on the stand, had a good look at that, and she declared it out.
So scratch that, not the first kill of the year. Now here's another serve by Hutt, received by Viner. Having to chase it down was Audrey Bobbin. They'll return it over with Mia Goodman. Now Sidney will back set. Dowling off a deflection. Sheldon somehow kept alive for a moment by Urban, but it's going to go wide, and it's all for naught. My Urban has been on the floor a handful of times tonight.
Well, and a lot of those, I think, are due to the deflections. You know, that ball's kind of taking some crazy angles, and she's been getting to some of the balls, but you're right. She can't get back up to get that defensive spot filled.
Makes it 6-5 Sidney, their first lead of the set. Serve received by Viner. They'll set up Williams on the left side. Actually, no, it's not Williams. It's Goodman down for a kill. Makes it 6-6.
Yeah, Goodman, the lefty right there, using the left arm. Just got that little bit of the tape, that trickle over the top. That's tough to defend, isn't it, Trevor?
It really is, because, I mean, you never know what it's going to do. Here's the serve by Goodman, received by Hutt, tight to the net. Williams returns it. There's her first kill of the season.
And you can see the spring in her, what the difference maker she is. She can elevate so high, and she gets that sharp down angle when she hits the ball. And if there's not a block there, Emily Williams can change the game in a hurry.
A serve by Goodman. Sidney will return it in the front row. Sheldon. Goodman pops it up in the back row. Urban will set up a flat foot swing by Bobbin. Now Sidney, back row. Dowling. Back set to Sheldon, who gets it off the tape and down for a kill.
Again, there's that tape, Trevor. It just you're on the receiving end of that, expecting to come clean through off the hand, and hits that tape, and it just kind of drops and dies, and all of a sudden we're knotted at 7.
They're tied through 14 points here in the first set of Sidney. Another serve coming from Eve Brumbaugh. Received by Viner. Urban will set up a swing by Williams that is off a block and wide, so give Emily Williams the winner.
Spurlock got there. Did a nice job by Harley, but the ball carried him so hard off the back and went out of play, and point Wolverines.
Second kill for Emily Williams. They'll work their way back around the rotation. Looks like Aspen Kraus will come in. Emily Williams will get a little bit of a breather. That serve just missed being an ace. It didn't miss by much, but it caroms wide, and it's 8-8.
It was a tough one, I think, right there to kind of let that go, but it just had enough spin on that, went outside the court, and too deep, ball back to the Cowgirls.
So it's 8-8. And now here to serve for Sidney is McKenna Lahman. It's received in the back row by East Mills, and a big swing kept alive. Bobbin, did it hit the carpet? They're going to say it did.
Yeah, it's kind of handball for at the same time, so official declared once the whistle blows and the play's dead. But
so give Audrey Bobbin her first kill of the night, and it's a 9-8 East Mills lead. And Kobe Viner, the junior libero, serves that one. Brumbaugh back set again off a deflection. It's scooped up by East Mills. They send it back over on a free ball with Urban. Here's Brumbaugh. She'll send it back to Addie Haney. Or no, that's Eve Brumbaugh who's into it. And now it's played by Dowling. Dowling, left side. Hayes, scooped out by Viner. We're still alive. Urban setting up Davis in the middle. She had some sauce on that one. It's a kill for Jamie Davis.
Good set by Urban, and Davis got a good swing at that. Block a little bit late getting there, Trevor. She went to that spot on the corner on the left-hand side and nailed it down.
10-8. Kobe Viner will continue to serve here in set one. That serve long, and it's 10-9.
Coach Viner knows there was a chance to kind of put a little bit of a run together, and instead that point out, and now your 1-point lead, and you're letting the team trailing by 1 have a serve.
Junior Carly Graham will serve. 11 aces to her name so far this season. Right-hand serve, had some sauce on that one, and East Mills will play it on the far side. Davis somehow kept alive in the back row, but in return, I believe it was Davis that got it.
She did, yeah. Nice job by Jamie to slide along there. She hit the ball on this side of the court, Trevor, on the right side, slid to the middle, anticipating where that return might come from, and just gently tapped it down. That's hard to do sometimes because your tendency is to hit the net.
11-9. Here's the serve by Maya Urban. It's received by Sidney. Now Dowling kind of faked the set, sent it over, but East Mills plays it. Dowling will set up a big swing for Monica Hay, or Caden Payne rather, her first kill of the night.
Well, nobody there, and boy, Caden Payne had a clear shot, and it's a nice set, as you mentioned, and landed right in the middle of the East Mills side over there, point out, or side out.
That's a big point because, 11-10 sounds a heck of a lot better than 12-9.
Well, this is kind of what we thought might happen, Trevor. Both teams just kind of trading punches back and forth, and no separation, really.
And they can't get the serve cleanly, can East Mills. So it was Mia Goodman that got the first hand on it. It goes wide for an ace to make it 11-11.
This just has that feel of you can get to 20-22 ahead of your opponent. You might be able to close this out.
Foster got the ace. Now here's a left-hand swing. Goodman got it awkwardly, but they play it alive, does Sidney, and then Dowling just pokes it over. Goodman came up, can't get it.
It doesn't have to be pretty, does it, Trevor?
Counts the same. And Sidney takes their second lead of the night with a Kind of a rare kill from Avery Dowling. Viner receives a serve, and they tee it up. Brumbaugh, but it's scooped up by East Mills. Davis will set it up. Goodman on a bump over. In the back row, Sidney. Dowling setting up. Payne in the middle. Was it wide? It was. And
I
it's
thought it might have been tipped, but I don't think it was. It just kind of caromed long, and missed opportunity right there for Cowgirls and Caden Payne. She had a pretty good shot at it. Not a bad set, and just couldn't find that deep corner.
So it's 12 all. And Jenna Thornburg, a sophomore, will come to the service stripe. On our left-hand side, puts it in the middle. Hutt, Dowling, back set, Payne, joust at the net. Williams got a hand on it. Now Sidney scrambling. Dowling to Hutt, who bumps it over. Back row, dug out by Thornburg. Urban setting up a big swing. Williams. Hutt got a hand out. There's nothing she could do. It lands a row in the bleachers.
Well, if you get her a good set and she's got a chance to swing and get power behind it, there's the result. And that's been missing for a while for the Wolverines, but nice to see her back on the floor.
Makes it 13-12 East Mills here in set number 1. And Thornburg will continue to serve. Received by Sidney. They'll send it back with Foster. It was pawed by Davis. Now Dowling setting up Brumbaugh, who puts it long.
And the one advantage maybe Connie Viner and the Wolverines had without Emily Williams, you've had a chance to kind of work some other girls in, Trevor, from different spots. And when she gets back in the lineup, and you can have the other go-to spot.
14-12, serve received by Hutt. Dowling will set up. Payne in the middle, puts it in the back row for a winner.
Nice job. Jamie Davis a little bit late getting over to the block, and Caden Payne's made some big leaps from last year to this year, Trevor.
Yeah, she's definitely came a long ways this year. She's got 112 kills coming into the night. She's got 2 on the night, and it's 14-13 East Mills. Sidney will serve with Avery Dowling. And it's going to be an ace for Avery Dowling. It lands in the scorer's table. Make that Dowling's 18th ace of the year, and we're tied at 14.
Got ourselves a football score, don't we, again?
Yes. So the ace by Dowling, it's a 2-0 run. Here's a serve. That time received much cleaner by Williams. They'll send it back to Williams on a set by Urban. It was deflected, but Viner keeps it alive. Free ball return by Goodman. Back row underneath it was Foster. Sidney's got to return it. They do with Brumbaugh. And then some miscommunication between East Mills, and it drops. Goodman in the front row, Thornburg in the back row. They didn't talk, and it kind of lands in
and
no
you
man's
can see
land.
Coach Viner talking right there, kind of reminding her players, ladies, please communicate. That was a great dig by Kobe Viner just to get to that ball, Trevor, and give it a chance.
15-14. Here's Viner on the serve receive. Urban will back set Davis. Davis has it somehow dug out by Foster. Now Williams tight to that. Urban sends it back to Davis, who had to come back to it. Hutt gets underneath it. Sidney will set. Dowling back set to Sheldon, who had to kind of change her angle. Goodman, Urban, left side. Williams taps it over in the sweet spot for a kill.
Well, there's the power right there. Everybody thought she was going to go deep corner, and they were setting up for it, and the hole just opened up, and Emily recognized that and just dauntedly just dropped it in the hole for the point.
Got that as the 4th kill of the set for Emily Williams, and we're tied at 15 here in Sidney. The serve by Davis is kept alive somehow, returned by Hutt on the 3rd touch. Williams, Urban, back set, left side, Goodman. Hutt kept it alive. They send it across, but that just tees Emily Williams up for another kill.
Well, the ability to get off the floor fast, Trevor, and get to a ball is huge right there.
And we're talking about somebody that's coming off of a pretty serious injury
ACL,
as well.
Yeah, torn ligaments, and it's strength, and I think the confidence is coming back for her. That's for sure.
Served by Davis, received by Sheldon. Dowling sets it up, and then it's put in the net by Annika Hayes.
I don't think she got that over the net. Coach McClintock says, you know what? Let's get a timeout right here.
So Sidney will take a timeout. We'll take it with him. 17-15 East Mills here in set 1. On the KMA video stream online, KMAland.com.
There's no better time than game time to catch up with friends, enjoy a cold beverage, and let someone else prepare the delicious food. And there's no better place than Stadium 34 in Red Oak. Kitchen, cocktails, and sports are all offered at the Stadium 34 Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. and weekends from 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. Serving delicious breakfast, lunch, and dinner, plus banquet rooms and catering options are available. Call 623-1021, or better yet, stop by Stadium 34 at 1200 7th Avenue in Red Oak.
Welcome back to Sidney here on the KMA video stream online, KMAland.com. Trevor Mander, Brian Bertini with you. It's been a fun first set so far. 17-15, Sidney leading East Mills, and Brian Bertini, neither team really giving much right now.
No, and I think Coach McClintock realized that 17-15, it's, you're within 2, but you don't want this to get to 20, 22, 23. You got to keep it close. Make some adjustments right now.
There's a serve received by Sidney. Shelton had a swing, but it was blocked to the net. Goodman now on the return. It's down. I believe that was Williams.
Emily Williams, yeah, it is. And again, I think you're seeing the presence, and that's why that 9-6 record of East Mills is awful deceiving as well, because this is the first time she's been on the floor, and there's some games in there that she probably would have had some difference, but you know what? She's here tonight and making her presence known.
18-15 served by Jamie Davis, received by Sidney, and putting it down in the back row for a kill. It was a foul on Sheldon.
Yeah, Jen Thornburg just couldn't get underneath. It was kind of that awkward angle. She tried to go low and bounced off, and Jamie Davis kind of got the carom and couldn't do anything with it. Big point right there for the Cowgirls, I think.
18-16 next. 19-15 is a little steeper of a hole. It's served by Hutt, received by Goodman. Williams setting up on the run to Bobbin, but it's scooped out by Sidney. Dowling setting up Brumbaugh, who had to come back to it. Williams underneath it. They'll swing left side. Goodman dug out by Dowling. Here's a bump by Hutt. Tight to the net for Sheldon. Off a block. Return, though, by Dowling. Or Brumbaugh now down for the kill.
Well, the last couple points for the Cowgirls have been off deflections and just finding that spot. And, good court, net coverage by the Wolverines, but good job returning the ball and keeping it alive for the Cowgirls.
And sometimes it's just a matter of being in the right place at the right time. Here's a left-hand serve by Emily Hutt. On the run, Williams had the right idea, just sent it long.
Again, a little timing off on that. She tried that running hit right there, a lot of power, but as you mentioned, just like that, Trevor, we're knotted at 18.
So 18 all, Emily Hutt. The junior libero serves that one. Kobe Viner received it. Urban had to chase it almost into the bleachers. Here's a free ball return by Goodman. Pushed up Hutt. Dowling setting up a left side swing. Brumbaugh with a tip. It was not, and they're going to rule
just a little
19-18.
Yep. I think Coach McClintock says just get on top of that. But tell you what, Emily Hutt, we love those left-handed servers, don't we? They just have a little different spin. Here's another one.
Mia Goodman is Dowling will set it back to Brumbaugh, who gets it off a block down for a kill. We're not at a 19.
And that time through the block of, looked like Emily Williams and Audrey Bobbin were there, but just a little gap between. And Sidney hanging around here, Trevor. They're staying close here, 19-19 with the serve as well.
Here's a serve coming from Eve Brumbaugh. Barely clears the tape. Couldn't be played cleanly by Urban. They got to return it with Williams. They do. That was not an easy play. Urban had to chase that all the way towards the scorer's table.
The advantage was Emily Williams was on that side of the court, so she didn't have to go too far to get to it. Urban gave her a chance, and as you mentioned, Williams cleaned it up nicely. That's a big point right there for East Mills.
Now Williams will come out of the rotation. It's 20-19. East Mills leading Sidney. Here's a serve coming from Aspen Krause. It's received in the back row. Dowling will set up a free ball pushed across and down. Looked to me like that was Harley Spurlock who got the touch on that one.
And I think Krause was kind of in that tweener. Is this going to be in or out? And she kind of went for it and just she caromed it off in the crowd. So, again, right back at even.
We've had a handful of times now, 11-11, 12-12, and now 20-20. Serve received by Goodman. Urban came up to it. They'll return it with Krause. Now here's the left side swing, if too much from Annika Hayes, and it's a 21-20.
Well, and here's the thing, too. I think Coach McClintock knows this. Emily Williams on the rotation now out, and Williams was out, and Davis was out as well. You had a chance right there, two of the big hitters for the Wolverines on the sideline, the rotation, and you got to take advantage of it. Right now, East Mills, Davis back on the floor with the serve and a lead.
21-20 serve coming from Kobe Viner. It's an ace. Couldn't be fielded cleanly by McKenna Lahman. Makes it 22-20.
Great serve right there. Just a little bit of different spin, as you mentioned, not a clean return, and just like that, East Mills 3 points away from taking set one.
I'm going to say another point we're seeing a Sidney timeout. We won't have to worry about it because that serve goes long by Viner, makes it 22-21.
Coach Connie Viner's just like, hey, get that in. We got a chance here. But now Sidney.
So we were tied at 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're also tied at 12, tied at 15, then tied at 19, tied at 20, 22-21. So this is the 9th possible tie tonight. Urban stops at. No, she was in the net.
Yeah, she went through the net. Kind of a crazy angle. She got it over, but her momentum carrying the net under the line. And we're at 22-22, Trevor. Add another one to your tie list.
So 22 all. Here's a serve from the right side coming for Carly Graham. Krause receives it. Davis comes up to a big swing, didn't get it cleanly, and Sidney takes the lead, 23-22. They're going to say Yeah, now we're getting East Mills timeout. Thought maybe they were going to get somebody in the net, but 23-22 instead. Advantage Sidney here on the KMA video stream online at KMAland.com.
Looking for unlimited super fast internet you can always rely on? Look no further than FMTC's fiber internet. With so much relying on your internet these days, you need a connection you can trust. You can work from home, video chat, stream your favorite TV shows, and more without worrying about the stability of your internet. You could have what everyone else wishes they had.
Your connection to the world, FMTC.
Welcome back to Sidney here on the KMA video stream. Trevor Mader, Brian Bertini with you. Brian, we've had 10 ties in this first set. Sidney right now holding a 23-22 edge.
Well, they've got the lead. They're closing on that 25. They got the serve. This is a huge point. You can get to 24. You can afford to trade points here, Trevor.
Here's
and Emily Williams on the sideline.
Serve coming from Carly Graham. It's received back row. Goodman jousted the net, kept alive by East Mills. They return it with Davis through a deflection. Foster pushes it up. Now Dowling back to Foster to go crossbody down for the kill. Set point coming.
Well, you're expecting it maybe to go to Caden Payne, who's right in the middle. They win it to the other side, as you mentioned, found the hole. Big point right there. Sidney 1 point away from taking set one.
It's a 3-0 run for Sidney, and Graham will serve. Received by East Mills. Urban pushes it back. Here's a swing by East Mills. Now on the attack. Payne kept alive somehow by East Mills. They got to return it with Viner, and they do. Dowling setting up in the middle. Payne. Sidney takes set one. No, they're going to say it did hit the floor. Urban played it off her foot. But Caden Payne with the winner to end the set. Sidney ends it on a 4-0 spurt to win it 25-22. We'll take a break. Set number 2 coming up here in a moment on the KMA video stream online at KMAland.com.
Bedford Drug offers more than just your prescriptions. They are now providing immunizations, including flu, pneumonia, and shingles vaccinations. Plus, they offer prescription synchronization for your convenience. Stop in and visit with pharmacist Mike Schweitzer for more information. See their expanded gift selection, too. Convenience, competitive prices, and people willing to help. Just a few reasons that Bedford Drug is the pharmacy with more for you. Get professional and experienced advice on the spot. Bedford Drug on Main Street in Bedford.
When buying insurance, finding protection closer to home is always a great choice. Legacy Mutual Insurance in Clarinda is a local company and has served communities in Southwest Iowa since 1870. We have independent agents ready to help you with your farm, home, and auto coverage. Go to our website at legacymutualia.com for a complete listing of our agents. For over 150 years, your family's needs and success have been our priority. That's our legacy at Legacy Mutual Insurance.
Iowa Western Community College has important news for you. If you're a high school senior trying to figure out what your next step in life will be after high school, consider this. Students learning trade-specific skills will get you into the workplace quicker, making a good living and having a lot less college debt. Iowa Western offers 1 to 2 year programs in nursing, welding, industrial tech, and advanced manufacturing, plus many others. Great skills and great pay in less time. Talk to Iowa Western Community College in Clarinda and Shenandoah and start planning your future now.
When people ask me what my dad does, I still don't have exactly the right answer. This is Sadie, and my dad is Shane from Schaff Ag. I know he takes calls and texts early in the morning and late at night. I know he does research to find the best products at the best prices. And I know he says, "I'll get that done for you." But I guess I'm still not sure what all is involved in every aspect of agronomy. But I know my dad does it all. Call Shane at Schaff Ag and see for yourself. 712-520-1333.
Well, second set underway here in Sidney, and Brian Bertini, it starts with a Jamie Davis kill.
Yeah, East Mills off to a good start, like they kind of did in the first set. Got off to Jamie Davis. She had a lot of touches early. It was really effective.
So it's a 1-zip East Mills lead early on, and as I say that, Eve Brumbaugh ties it at 1.
Wolverine defense just a little tardy getting over there for the block. As you mentioned, Brumbaugh, clean shot right there. And again, this is kind of what we saw in set one. Both teams just kind of trade points. And wasn't for that little last run at the end, it was the separation that Sidney needed.
So 1-0, here's the serve by Avery Dowling. It's received by Goodman, but long, and it's an ace for Avery Dowling.
And Coach McClintock's got to be happy. There was a couple moments in there looked like East Mills might kind of pull away. They found a way to stay close and got that last 3-4 point run. And if you're going to win a series at home, you want that set one, don't you?
Absolutely. Here's a serve from Dowling. It's received by Goodman, but not Queenly, and it's another ace.
So a couple miscues by the Wolverines, which we didn't see much of in that first. I thought it was a pretty clean first set, Trevor, by both squads.
Very much was, and it's a 3-1 Sidney lead here in set 2. And Dowling has that one cleanly received by Kraus, so return it. And now Sidney will go on the attack rather, but Sheldon puts her in the net.
Missed opportunity right there too, because Williams on the initial thing was not in the rotation. Now she's back, and Sidney had a chance to kind of maybe get a little daylight right there in the second set. And regardless, side out, point Wolverines, and Emily Williams back to the front row.
So here's Jenna Thornburg to serve. Yeah, they've got Williams and Goodman and Davis in the front line, does East Mills. Hutt pushes that one up. Dowling will set up in the middle. Down for the winner is Eve Brumbaugh. Davis couldn't get it cleanly.
No, she was in the right spot, as you mentioned. Just kind of came down off her hand. She couldn't get it blocked back into the side of the net, and the Cowgirls. And point side out, point Cowgirls.
5th kill of the night for Brumbaugh, and it's 4-2 Sidney. Here's the serve by Hutt, received by East Mills. Urban setting up on the run Williams. It's scooped out, though, by Sidney, but they can't get it over, and they're going to say
four
hits.
Didn't cross the net. Looked like Eve Brumbaugh just couldn't get a really good angle on that, Trevor, and get a spot over the top of the net and side out, ball back to the Wolverines.
So now Jamie Davis will serve for East Mills. Flat foot right hand serve down to an Ewen Hutt to get it. Dowling will back set to Brumbaugh off a deflection. Urban to Goodman. Sky high joust at the net. Bobbin sends it over. Now Dowling again, back set. Sheldon off a block down for a kill.
Nice job, went down the line. Williams a little bit late getting there. Davis couldn't get two hands on it. As you mentioned, caromed off the back wall. Sidney now with another point.
Fallon Sheldon makes it 5-3 Cowgirls here in set number 2. They will have Eve Brumbaugh serving. Received by Viner. Urban has to set it from the back row to Goodman. Dowling, Hutt. She'll set it left side Sheldon, but there is Urban tight to the net for Goodman. Goodman well over the line. It's 5-4. Not much you can do there.
No, it just took her there. She made a gallant effort to try to get a play on it, but her momentum carried underneath the net, under the net and into the net, so side out. And suddenly this is the first biggest lead we've had early in the set, Trevor.
So it's 6-3. Here's the serve by Sidney, and it's
the rally killer,
yeah.
Which is the serve into the net, right?
We've seen those many times.
Time again. The ones I think just drive coaches crazy because you just have a chance to.
And then we see Goodman put one in the net.
So we trade points.
So back-to-back service errors makes it 7-4.
Where if you have the lead by 4 or 5, you'll trade points, but
maybe not early in the set. I mean, you'll trade points, I guess, any time, but you feel more comfortable late in the set. Here's the serve by McKenna Long. Here's the serve by Graham again into the back row. Kraus got a cleaner that time. Bobbin bumps it. They got to return it. They do with Brodigan. Now Dowling will push it back to Hayes, and they were in the net.
Yeah, it might have been a double hit. Yeah, double hit. She had those hands kind of a different angle, and the ball kind of skipped off of them. Kind of think a missed opportunity right there for Sidney.
So it's 9-6. Sidney leading East Mills. Here's junior Kobe Viner to serve, the libero for the Wolverines. Received in the back row by Brumbaugh. Dowling setting up left side Payne. Off a deflection, kept alive Goodman. Now they'll return on a free ball from Urban. Graham. Dowling. Back row swing. Brumbaugh. Kept alive Urban. Here's a bump by Viner. They got to return it, and they do with Brodigan. It's kept alive in the back row. Sidney. Free ball returned by Dowling. Back row Kraus. Urban setting up Davis in the middle. It's a big winner for Jamie Davis. Graham tried to get it, but not much you could do there.
No, Caden Payne not able to get to the spot. Boy, I tell you what, with a lot of power, Jamie Davis, you give her a pretty good set, and she can set up and unload. Had a little power behind that one. Hope those are breakthrough glass. You're hoping on the back wall here, correct?
9-7 the score, and one barely clears the tank from Viner. It's an ace, just the way she drew it up.
Yeah, that's the unreturnable serve right there. The one that hits the tape and just trickles down. There's literally no defense for that.
If you could master that, you'd be the world's greatest server.
I almost wish they'd outlaw that because really there's no way for a team to return that.
Here's a serve by Viner. Swing in the net as Hayes just didn't get under it cleanly.
I wish they would just call that a miss serve and reserve.
Right.
Let you try again. But as of now, it counts as a point, and East Mills a little bit of a run right here, Trevor.
So it's 9-9. Served by Viner, down to a knee. Went McKenna Lahman. They return it from the back row with Graham. Joust at the net between Urban and Payne. East Mills returns it with Goodman. Dowling, back set on the run. Payne in the net.
I don't think it went
She
over.
didn't
Yep.
go over, yeah.
This is Josh with Shore Motor Company in Clarinda to remind you that we are your local Chevrolet, Buick, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, and Chrysler dealer. With straightforward pricing, transparent trade appraisals, and no finance manager to deal with, we make your purchase the easiest you've ever experienced. That's our promise to you. And with an express lane for quick oil changes open 6 days a week, our service department is sure to impress you as well. Shore Motor Company in Clarinda, proudly supporting local high school sports.
Back out of the timeout here in Sidney, and Brian, the service error giveth, and it taketh away.
Well, and that's the frustrating one. Right after a timeout, you get reset, and you just give a point away.
Now Sidney will go on the attack. Left-hand swing. Brumbaugh. It's a winner for Brumbaugh. Viner sacrificed herself for that one, but nothing she could do.
Oh, good job by Brumbaugh right there to get over and just, find a spot in the hole. As you mentioned, defense a little bit lax on that one for the Wolverines covering.
Yeah, that is a 6th kill of the night from Eve Brumbaugh. Here's the serve from Avery Dowling. Somehow kept alive by Kraus. He'll return it with Viner. Tight to that Dowling. Back set to Sheldon off the tape. Down for a kill.
There it is, the tape. Davis was set up in the middle, kind of cover Caden Payne. They went to the outside here. As you mentioned, you got it down. And again, Sidney's kind of responded. Every time East Mills kind of gets it close, Sidney's kind of separate a little bit.
14-11. Here's a serve by Dowling. It's received by East Mills. Goodman with a left-hand swing. Too much on that. 15-11. And this is now a 3-0 run. It was 10-9 East Mills. It was 10-10 East Mills.
Yeah, we
we
stayed pretty much, even all the way into the early 20s last match. So this is the first time we've seen one team kind of get out early here.
Davis, big swing. Hutt somehow kept it alive.
Big save right there by the Cowgirls.
Now Urban will back set. Goodman kept alive again by Hutt. Dowling. Brumbaugh had to come back to the tape. Viner got a hand on it. Urban to Davis, who pushes it up and over. Hutt, Dowling, nice little volley here. Payne ends it with a kill.
I'll tell you what, give that point to Emily Hutt. She made 2 phenomenal saves just to keep the ball alive, Trevor. Give your team a chance and get it over. And that's huge because 16-11, you got a five-point cushion right now and the serve.
So 16-11, the serve by Dowling. Down to a knee to get it went Kraus. And Brodigan sent it over, and it's blocked by Sidney.
Yeah, they had the block, and it just trickled on the outside, went outside the court. Point now, Emily Williams back in the lineup right now. I think Coach Viner knows if we're going to climb back into the set, it's going to happen right now.
So 16-12. Here's a serve coming from Jenna Thornburg. It's received by Hutt. Swing on the left side, Sheldon off a deflection. Williams shovels it out. Now Urban will set up Williams for a kill.
Now the hammer's back, Trevor. Good set right there, Urban. And Emily Williams knows what to do if you give her the ball in the right spot. Even the block was there. It didn't really matter, did it?
16-13. Thornburg serves it away. Hutt gets underneath it. There's a swing by Payne. Davis didn't block it cleanly. And
It was a block. I thought Jamie thought it was going to fall in, but it just hung on that tape, Trevor, and rolled it out and it ended up outside the line. And big break right there because Sidney, 17, closing in on 25.
So 17-13, served by Hutt, received by Viner. That one hit sky high, tight to the net. Somebody was in the net. They're going to say the guilty party was East Mills.
I think Jamie Davis was trying to reposition. She just got her hand on the net there. She repositioned. That's a big point because Sidney now chasing 7 to that 25 mark.
This is the largest lead of any point tonight at 18-13. Hutt serve received. Here's Goodman to Williams, who goes with the lefty. Dowling will set it back to Sheldon, who pokes it over in the gap between the front and the back row.
Yeah, right now,
Sheldon gets a kill.
Good court awareness by the Cowgirls. They're just trying to find the spots. And East Mills getting some deflections, Trevor, but you leave that gap in the middle.
19-13, so that largest lead grows by a point. Urban sets it up for Williams. Somehow kept alive by Dowling. They return it with Brumbaugh. Goodman to Williams. They can't keep that one alive.
Well, no, great job by Dowling just to get her hand underneath it. They've kept some balls alive, but credit East Mills with that one, Trevor, to get a good set and go to your hitter on the outside, Williams, and she nailed it down.
19-14. The score, Jamie Davis to serve. Receive the back row, Foster. Dowling setting up Brumbaugh. I don't think it would have cleared anyways, but Williams and Bobbin were there.
Emily was going to make sure it didn't clear it. So 2 quick points for the Wolverines. They need them all right now. Trevor Chilling 4 here.
So it's 19-15. Here comes Jamie Davis to serve. Again. Hutt there in the back row. Dowling setting up left side in the net with Spurlock on the swing, and it's 19-16. It's a 3-0 run.
Just like that. Well, a couple mistakes right there, but the Cowgirls can't get the ball over the net. And East Mills making a run right now.
Another serve from Davis. Puts it in the back row. Foster pushes it up. Dowling. Here's another swing. Spurlock. Down to an E. Williams. Urban sets it from the back row to Williams on a pushover. Hutt. Dowling, swing, Spurlock, kills Spurlock. Davis couldn't get it cleanly.
Yeah, she got one arm. We've seen that a couple times. She just couldn't slide over fast enough to get 2 arms underneath it. Big point right there. Cowgirls now get to that number 20 you like.
20-16. They'd feel a lot better about 21. Brumbaugh doesn't get him there. Puts it just a little too much on it.
Yeah, the giveaway point. I mean, yeah, you're up by 3, but you're also letting this team kind of hang around. And like you said, you find a way to get to 21. You can really start to close it in. You bet.
It's tough. Goodman puts some spin on that one. Hutt receives it. Dowling sends it back to Foster, and Foster puts too much on it.
I would say probably the last 4 points the Wolverines have gotten have just been kind of some misplaced by the Cowgirls, and they've crawled right back into this set too, Trevor.
Another serve from Goodman. Flat foot serve. Received in the back row, Sheldon. Will set up a big swing. Spurlock is deflected by Williams. Back to Brumbaugh. Tapped over by Sidney, but East Mills will play off of it. On the run, Williams jousted the net. Somehow kept alive in the back row by Spurlock, and we're still alive. Coming up to set, Urban. Left side, Williams came back to it. Hutt kept it alive. Returned by Dowling down for the kill.
Harley Spurlock stuck that right arm out. The defense was all to the right side. She went cross court to the left side by the benches, and it just got over the net, stayed in. Big point right there, Trevor.
21-18. Yeah, I mean, you get a point here.
Well, it would have been 2019 otherwise.
So instead of a 1-point lead, it's a 3-point lead. Serve coming from McKenna Lahman. It's wide. And
those are killers.
I mean,
yeah, you can suddenly get to 22. You can kind of close this out, but one advantage right now, Williams is going to go out on the rotation as Aspen Krause comes back in for the serve.
And so Krause serves also. Jenna
and
Bornberg
Davis is out too. So if you're Sidney, this is the moment here you think you can close this one out.
Riley Brodigan in for East Mills. Sidney pushes it across. Urban will set up Brodigan. Big swing. Hutt there to shovel it. Bumped by Dowling into the back row. Brumbaugh sliding in was Viner. East Mills all sorts of out of system. Bobbin might have got away with being over, and then it drops down.
Spurlock missed an opportunity. I think if she would have went deep corner right there, there was nobody back. She elected to try to hit it down and missed it.
So 1-point set. Here comes Aspen Krause to serve. Almost an ace, but kept alive in the back row by Lahman. And then we got a double hit on Sidney. We're tied at 21.
Well, and again, Williams and Davis, the big hitters for the Wolverines on the sideline, the rotation. Coach McClintock says, we need to talk this over.
We'll take a timeout with her. 21-all here in set 2.
America is choosing to be a healthier nation. That's why so many people choose a Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned and offer a full range of vitamins, non-prescription medicines, cold remedies, and convenient items for you and your family. And when it comes time to have a prescription filled, you can always count on your Health Mart family pharmacy to do it right. Take your next prescription to Oakland Pharmacy in Oakland, a locally owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Well, a 5-1 East Mills run has tied it at 21 and also prompted a Sidney timeout. Brian Bertini momentum maybe shifting a little bit here.
Well, big point here because East Mills lost that first set in a close one. They want to see if they close out, and the dreaded giveaway point comes back. And
that's got to be what? I know it's at least the second, maybe the third time tonight we've had coming out of a service error out of a timeout.
And timing has, you don't mind it if it's 2-1 or 3-1 early in the set, but not when it's 21-21, right?
Yeah, because now it makes it 22-21. Here's a serve from Carly Graham. Goodman sends it tight to the net for Urban. Graham there for Sidney. Dowling setting up a left side swing. Foster walked along the tape and dropped for an East Mills point.
Nice job of the Wolverines to get that over the net. I think that might have been Mia Urban on the block right there, and that prompts on the rotation Davis back in the front line.
22-all. Kobe Viner had a nice run of the service line earlier. Serves. Graham got in the back row. Here's a swing by Sidney, and East Mills a little bit out of whack. Davis will push one across. It's kept alive the back row. Graham, here's a swing. Down for a kill on the far side. Mia Foster, and it's 23-22
Nice
Sidney.
spot. Nobody back there. Kobe Viner a little bit late getting to the court coverage on the backside. Point deep.
A joust at the net, kept alive for the time being. Scooped out by Viner. They'll back set. Big swing. Goodman kept alive by Sidney in the back row. Foster, and it'll go wide on Sidney. East Mills has battled back. They have set point.
Wow. They hung around. They were down 3-4 late, found a way to tie it. Now they have the lead. They're 1 point away from closing this set.
Sidney takes a timeout. We'll keep it here, Brian. This has been a set of momentum up to this point.
Well, again, I was impressed with Wolverines. Williams and Davis were out on a little bit of that rotation. It looked like Sidney kind of had everything in their favor, unable to capitalize. And then Davis comes back in on the rotation. They get a couple digs. They keep the ball alive. Missed opportunity right there for the Cowgirls, and just like that, that's how fast this thing can change. And look like Sidney might, pull away and take set two and be one away from closing. And here East Mills to see if they can knock this match up at 1-1.
Yeah, Sidney took set one, 25-22. They had a 5-point lead in this one. Urban almost has the ace. Foster went down to an E4. Here's a swing by Payne. Urban kept it alive. Davis, it drops. Nobody came up. We're going to play to 26.
Yeah, a little miscommunication. Jamie Davis got it. Tried to get out of the way and couldn't, and we're knotted up. So big point save. Nice job by Caden Payne to give your team a chance. And like you said, we're going to play at least two more.
So 24 all. And it's a race to 26. Avery Dowling to serve it. It's received by Goodman. Pushed across in the back row. Viner. Sidney a little out of whack. Dowling setting up Payne in the middle. Sidney started for a set point.
Well, the block a little bit late. Davis was there. I think looked like Mia Goodman not able to get over there clean. Coach Viner says, let's use my last timeout.
So East Mills takes the timeout. And Brian, the momentum that was on the East Mills side a moment ago, it's kind of their side of the court.
Well, you keep playing. Coaches keep talking about you play to the whistle, whether it's volleyball or basketball,
Yep.
Trevor, and even football for that matter. And, they did that right there. They found a way to keep the ball alive. Good technique. I'm really impressed with the backline defense of the Sidney Cowgirls right now. They've taken some pretty good hard hits from some of those girls, Trevor. Catch them alive, and not only that, turn them into productive passes up and get your hitters a chance.
Yeah, this set was 19-13 Sidney. East Mills battled back at a 24-23 lead. Sidney has since scored the last two to lead the set 25-24. They lead the match 1-0.
I'm betting Coach McClintock says, whatever you do, get this over the net. Let's make sure, let's play this out. Let's don't give them a free point here.
Here's a serve by Avery Dowling. No problem getting over the net. East Mills got a scramble. Urban to Davis off a deflection. Diving save made Sheldon. Back row Hayes to Brumbaugh, puts it down for the winner, and Sidney takes a two-set on lead.
It was kind of an awkward, went off her fingertips, and that little change of direction, change of speed, Trevor, was the difference. Hits the floor, and big comeback win for the Cowgirls right there.
So it's now 2-0 Sidney through two sets here on the KMA video stream. This has been a fun one up to this point. We'll get you set for set number 3 coming up here in a moment.
Since 1892, Malvern Bank has been building community from 401 Main Street in Malvern, Iowa.
Found a way to win it.
Malvern Bank has been serving local businesses, families, and farms to help them achieve their goals in every step of their lives. From saving for college to planning for retirement and everything in between, Malvern Bank is your full-service community bank. Call, click, or stop in today to apply for an account, loan, or credit card. Malvern Bank, we build community. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
HawkeyeFord.com. It's where you'll find a complete selection of pre-owned cars and trucks. It's also where you can estimate your trade-in value and receive a no-hassle quote. Since 1988, Hawkeye Ford has been offering a high level of customer service and a commitment to making the process of buying your vehicle an enjoyable one. They strive to deliver 100% satisfaction every time you visit their location on Highway 34 east of Red Oak or on their 24/7 location, HawkeyeFord.com.
Many businesses businesses talk about service, but at Rogers Pharmacy, it's not just talk, setting them apart from the big box stores. They're a full-service pharmacy where you can not only fill prescriptions, but they also carry an impressive line of medical equipment to meet all of your needs. So whether you need oxygen, CPAP, BiPAP, lift chairs, or diabetic shoes, Rogers Pharmacy has them all. Let their family serve your family. The full-service, family-owned, independent Rogers Pharmacy, located in Tarkio, Mound City, Maryville, and St. Joe. Visit RogersRx.com.
Well, the wave is broken out here in Sidney, and the Sidney Cowgirls have broken out to a 2-0 lead. We go to the third set, but Brian Bertini, it hasn't been without a valiant effort from East Mills at this point. Two really fun sets.
Yeah, both teams have battled up in the 20. We had, what you say, 10 ties in that set number one. Sidney finally got a little bit of pull-away separation in set two, but, boy, credit the Wolverines. They battled the way back. Had a chance to close it out. Led 24-23 with the serve and couldn't finish it out. And, yeah, everything that you wanted tonight in the corner conference match and everything we expected was two teams battle. Now, if you're Sidney, you got a chance to close this out in three. We've seen it before. If you let a team just hang around, we saw with Kemper and Glenwood. Kemper raced out to a 2-lit, and you win set three, and suddenly you kind of feel like you're back in the game. Well, you win set four, then it's just anybody's game.
And Sidney had one like that earlier this year with Stanton. They were down 2-0, battled back on the road, ended up winning in 5. So. Well,
yeah, and Coach Viner's got that message, and these girls over here are competitors too for the Wolverines, and they know if you can get this one, hey, then it's just the best of 2 out of 3, and we'll take our chances.
There's Maya Urban to serve for East Mills. That serve received by Emily Hutt. Dowling will set it up on the left side to Caden Payne. Chasing it down to the back row was Williams. Sidney will set things up now. They'll go in the middle to Payne. It's kept alive by East Mills. Now on the attack. Brodigan scooped out by Hutt. I don't know how many of those she's had tonight, but it's got to be a lot. Back row swing Brumbaugh off a deflection. Williams kept alive. Davis setting it up on the left side. Brodigan too much on it, and it's 1-0 Sidney.
Yeah, we talked in between the sets right there, between 2 and 3. Emily Hutt has been just a rock and solid on the back row. She's just kept ball after ball alive. And not only that, but something that's returnable, Trevor, that you can get it up to your hitters in the front.
Foster to serve. Williams pushes it up to Urban. They'll go the swing from Goodman. Now Foster to Dowling to Brumbaugh. Chasing it down was Urban. Davis, so flat foot swing it with Brodigan. Kept alive by Foster. Dowling, Brumbaugh, back row. Williams was there. Tight to net. Urban has to play it back. Goodman gets it over. Dowling will set up in the middle. Caden Payne with bad intentions, but wide, and it's 1-1.
Well, she had the spot, just didn't get enough down angle, a little bit too wide, and missed opportunity right there, I think, for the Cowgirls.
2 points in the set, 1-1. Both points have come on attack errors. Here's the serve coming from the sophomore Jenna Thornburg. And the serve from Thornburg, received by Hutt. Dowling had to come back to it. Payne pushes it over. Williams and Davis were kind of right on top of each other at the net.
Yeah, that actually worked good, that offset. I think Payne wanted to load up, but she realized she couldn't. That little dink shot actually worked better to her advantage because, like you said, nobody in that spot.
Dink shot, I like that phrase. 2-1 the score. Here's a serve by Dowling. Down to an E-win, Viner. They'll back set it to Davis. Swings it through a block. Kept alive. Returned with force by Hutt. Urban sends it back and returned with force by Emily Williams for a kill.
Well, Caden Payne was there, but Emily Williams got a little bit power. It was a great set right there, and she got enough power on it. Come off kind of straight down, and Kendall Payne couldn't get it clean.
I've got that as 9 kills tonight for Emily Williams. Knotted at 2 here in set number 3. Jamie Davis's serve received by Sidney on a launch. Goes fouling Sheldon, and it'll be a kill for Sheldon.
Jenna Thornburg, it just kind of got on her really quick. I think quicker than she thought. She just didn't get it clean, as you mentioned, caromed off. And every time East Mills early in this set, Sidney's kind of had a way to respond.
Emily Hutt will serve. Left-handed server. Serves it right to left. Viner got it kind of low. They'll return it with Thornburg into the back row. Foster. They'll back set to Sheldon, who gets it back on a deflection. Now they'll go back in the middle. Spurlock coming up to it was Urban. Sends it back to Thornburg. They return it with Goodman. Into the back row. Hutt. Dowling. Setting up Spurlock. Off the tape. Urban got underneath it. It's bumped from the back row. Thornburg. Returned by Bobbin. Into Foster. Bumped by Hutt. Here's a left side swing. Brumbaugh. Return on a free ball by Urban that drops. She read the defense. Everyone was shifting left, so what does she do? Puts it the other way.
We talk about, court vision in other sports, basketball, but volleyball is so critical. You got to kind of anticipate where you want to go with that. She placed it nicely right there.
3-all here in set number 3. East Mills trying to find a way to force a fourth here on the road against their corner conference foe and get their 10th win of the year. Here's a serve by Goodman. Received by Brumbaugh. They'll send it back to Annika Hayes. That's on the line. We'll see what they call. They call it long.
It was close, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's on the far side from us. So East Mills has the lead at 4-3. They return it to Sidney with Spurlock. Williams pushes it over. Now Dowling tight to the net, sends it back to Sheldon. Off the tape, down for a kill.
Well, again, if you can get a piece of that tape, and I thought she might hit the stick on that one, but it stayed inside that. And again, you're setting up for the power block, Trevor. When it hits that tape, it just changes the angle.
Give Jenna Thornburg A for effort. She came sliding in, just not much she could do with the tape shot. Serve received by Goodman. Urban will back set it to Williams, who pushes it over on a free ball. Now big swing from the middle. Spurlock. Williams punched it. Thornburg can't get it on the punch. That was Goodman actually that punched it, and it's their kill for Harley Spurlock.
Defensive kind of shaded up. Spurlock got just enough of it, and as you mentioned, with the hand out, not enough to keep it up in the air, and quick 2 points for the Cowgirls.
Back-to-back kills from Spurlock, make it 5-4. Serve from Brumbaugh, receive back row Goodman. Urban will set it back to Williams, and somehow kept alive by Dowling. Sidney returned it, but it gets returned the other way by East Mills. Pushed across Dowling into the back row. Thornburg. Urban setting up Williams. Both teams scrambling now. Dowling will poke it over, but Bobbin got a bump on it, and Viner will return it with a punch over the tape. Kept alive somehow by Spurlock. Hunt to Hayes. Pushed up Williams. Urban. They want to go back to Williams. They go back to Williams, and Dowling got a hand on it, but sends it the wrong way, and it's a kill for Emily Williams.
Wow, Emily Williams, a good place to go back to. Good rotations and scramble by both squads. We're seeing some really athletic plays on both sides tonight, Trevor.
5-5 here in set number 3.
They're getting to some balls that normally, a lot of teams hit the floor, and these teams can keep it alive.
Aspen Prowse comes in and serves. Emily Williams comes out, as does Thornburg. It should be an ace for Krause. Sidney couldn't play it.
Yeah, probably one of the few times we've seen a little bit of miscommunication on court awareness right there, where to go. Dowling and Hutt kind of not quite sure who's going to get to that.
6-5 advantage East Mills. And another ace by Krause. That hit Brumbaugh awkwardly.
I think she thought it was going to be up a little higher, but it just kind of knuckled and died. Good serve right there by, she mentioned, Aspen Krause.
So back-to-back aces from Krause. Brumbaugh gets that one. Now they'll send it to Sheldon, who had to launch herself at it. Urban pushes it up. Goodman. They'll return it with Brodigan. Set in the front row. Dowling on the left side. Hayes awkwardly fielded by East Mills, and that teed up Hayes to get it back.
Well,
it looked like Krause just didn't get it the way she wanted to.
No, long returns, and if it happens to go over the net, it just ends up being kind of a free opportunity for the other team. And nice job right there by the Cowgirls to clean that up and stop that little 3-0 run by the Wolverines.
7-6, East Mills leading this third set, trailing the match 2-0. Serve received in the back row, Goodman. Urban comes up. Here's a big swing from Brodigan, who gets the kill. And it's 8-6.
Kind of Lahman just a little bit tardy, Trevor. I think trying to slide up into that middle spot right there. And she mentioned Brodigan found it.
So Brodigan gets the winner, makes it 8-6. Here's a serve from Kobe Viner. Hutt will push it tight to the net for Hayes. Was it in? They're going to say, I did look from here like it was, but they say it is.
I think the ball, hits part of the line. It doesn't need much, and the back line official here said, yes, it was.
So the last 2 points for Sidney have come from Annika Hayes' kills. Here's Carly Graham at the service stripe. That one barely clears the net. It's played and returned and down on the East Sidney side for an East Mills point.
Kaden Payne had a chance to clean that up, and she just mishit it, and she knew it, too. She was like, that was a free opportunity. It's like a layup with nobody around, Trevor, and you doink it off the rim.
Maya Urban serves that one. It's kept alive by Sidney. Dowling sets it back to Hayes. Brodigan and Davis try to get a hand on it, but Hayes gets another kill.
That block a little bit wide, went outside the court, so we trade points again.
Make it 9-8. East Mills leading here in set number 3. Here's Mia Foster to serve. On the left side of the court, puts a lot of oomph in that one. It's into the back row by Krause. Now a big swing after the set. by Urban and give the kill to Mia Goodman. Makes it 10-8.
Goodman, again, going cross-court deep. Nobody there for the Cowgirls. And first time we've seen since set one where East Mills has been able to kind of see if they can get a little separation here going.
Brodigan and Kraus come out. Jenna Thornburg to the service line. Emily Williams on the front line for East Mills. Served by Kraus, received in the back row by Sidney. There's a left-hand side, tight to the net. Brumbaugh. It was pawed by Davis and Goodman, but it goes well long. And it's 10-9.
They were right there, Trevor, as you mentioned, but just too much powering on the Karam and out of bounds. Point, side out, point, Cowgirls.
So 10-9 Sidney just hanging around here in this third set.
If you're up 2-0, you can hang around and find a way to get this, but
Williams receives a serve. They'll go to her with a big swing and a kill from Emily Williams. That's a good strategy.
Yeah, that's a great strategy. Well, again, Caden Payne a little bit late getting there and nobody on the back corner, and the way Emily can elevate, she can go over the top of most blocks, and she has the whole court to survey, and she found the spot she wanted.
So make it 11-9 East Mills. Here's Jamie Davis to serve. Down to a knee to get that went Foster. On the run, Sheldon, pushed up by Urban. Goodman, Williams, returned by Payne. Now Sidney scrambling. Dally will go back to Payne in the middle. Kept alive, returned by Urban. They can't get it across, and it's 12-9, or 11-10 rather.
Good by me, Urban, to just keep that alive, Trevor. It gave her team a chance, but it just, like you said, went into the net. And it's whenever you think East Mills might, we can get 4 or 5 in a row, and they find a way to kind of, Sidney just gets that point they need, as you mentioned, just hang right in there.
Left-hand serve from Emily Hutt, received by Viner. Coming up to it to get it was Williams. That sets up a swing, and it can't be fielded clean. They give Bobbin the winner on that one. Makes it 12-10.
Mia Foster tried to do it for the Cowgirls, tried to find a spot and just took kind of a crazy current. Karam off and side out.
Every time Sidney gets it down to 1, East Mills finds a point. See what happens here. There's a swing by Brumbaugh. Chasing it was Goodman, but didn't get it the way she wanted, and it's back down to a 1-point set.
The block by Williams, and I think it's like Audrey Bobbin a little bit late getting there, and that left that back corner wide open. Sidney found a spot. They needed that point.
About 8 kills tonight from Eve Brumbaugh. That serve is received by East Mills from the back row. They'll set it up Williams through a deflection. Hutt there to shovel it. Back set, Dowling to Sheldon. Again, Williams got a hand on it. They'll return on a free ball. Spurlock, that looked out.
It was.
And it was,
Yep.
13-11.
I still like the effort of the Cowgirls. Emily Hutt has just been all over the floor. She just seems to be in the right place at the right time. And, not only that, but she keeps the ball gets it to your teammate where you can do something with it, Trevor.
So it was 8-6, 8-7, 9-7, 9-8, 10-8, 10-9. We've traded points about the last 10 points. On a free ball, Sheldon. They return it with Urban. Now Dowling setting up a left side front row swing for a kill, and it's, again, a 1-point set with Monica Hayes.
That little crazy angle where it doesn't come off clean, the defense kind of reacts and you just can't get to it because the ball just kind of tumbles.
I mean, we have traded points this whole set. We have not had larger than a 2-point lead. And right now it's at a 1-point advantage for East Mills, 13-12. Serve from Lahman, received by East Mills. Swing in the net from Brodigan, and we are tied at 13.
I don't think that cleared the net. Just the set, just a little bit behind her head. She couldn't get her hand out in front of it. And again, just what you wanted for Coach McClintock. Let's just find a way to work even now. Maybe this is where you make your move, Trevor.
Lahman, kind of a delayed swing. Urban was jousting at the net with Hayes, and Hayes knew she sent it long, and East Mills
I thought Annika had a chance right there to kind of do something with that, but as you mentioned, just kind of got lost on the joust right there and ended up going wide.
So 14-13, East Mills leading. Kobe Viner serves. Lahman receives it in the back row. Here's a swing from the front row. Spurlock, another kill, and we're down to 14.
Kraus unable to get that cleanly. Davis a little bit late on the block. So, point, and we're back where, Trevor?
Tied, 14-all, 6 kill tonight by my stats from Harley Spurlock. And it'll be Carly Graham at the service stripe for the Cowgirls. Serve receive back row, Goodman. Urban will set up a running Jamie Davis. It was deflected by Dowling. Dowling gets a bump on it. They'll return it with Brumbaugh into the back row. Kraus setting up Urban. Left side swing. Brodigan rolls across the tape and down. Sidney has her first lead since I believe it was 6-5. It was 5-4.
Yep. And again, They're up 2-0. They'd like to see if this is the point right now, Trevor. Separation really put the pressure on the Wolverines here.
Floating serve by Graham, received by Viner. It hits the basketball hoop. Davis somehow plays it off, and we're still
pinball.
alive. Dowling to Payne, returned by Davis with the left hand. Graham got a hand out. They got to return it. They do to Sidney with Hayes. Now a free ball pushed over by Maya Urban.
Wow, credit Jamie Davis for just kind of watching that ball bounce right on that side basket up there, Trevor, by the ceiling. And she just kind of patiently waited for it to come out of there like a pinball, wasn't it?
It's really easy to over-anticipate that and it drop on the floor, but it didn't, and it's 15-all. Here's a serve coming from Maya Urban. They received it in the back row. Front row swing by Payne. She returns on the deflection, and it's down. Viner didn't get it cleanly.
Well, that
16-15.
Caden was going to make sure it got up in that. And if somehow East Mills wins this set 3, we might look back to that point, Trevor, when it's 15-14, the ball off the hoop, because 16-14, 17-14, that's all maybe Sidney would need to pull away.
16-15, advantage Cowgirls. Serve coming from Maya Foster, puts it in the net, and it's 16-16.
And Emily Williams now back on the rotation, the front line again. It's like Jenna Thornburg back in as well.
Yep, and Thornburg will be the server.
She's been really effective on the back line tonight.
16-16 here in set 3. East Mills trying to keep this match alive. Brumbaugh receives a Dowling back set in the middle, and a winner for Caden Payne. She's kind of came on lately.
Well, and they haven't been the 2 power hits. You know, she likes the power game. It's more the right place, the right time, and she's kind of like, she just dinked it over there, didn't she?
17-16 advantage to Coach Amy McClintock, Sidney Cowgirls, as Avery Dowling
I
will
would
serve.
say if Sidney gets a point or two, Coach Viner's not going to wait long here, set 3.
Serve received to the back row by Williams. Viner bumps it to Williams, who pushes it over. Hutt scoops it out, but not cleanly, and Emily Williams ties it at 17.
That might have been the first mistake Emily's made tonight on a return ball, and it was not a difficult one, but I think maybe Williams put a little bit extra oomph on that, Trevor, and it kind of caught her off guard.
17 apiece. Jamie Davis to serve for East Mills. Received on the left side, Fallon Sheldon. A big swing off a block. Brumbaugh somehow returned by Williams. Now set up for Sheldon. Deflected. Williams was there, as was Bob, and Williams gets the block. East Mills gets an 18-17 lead.
Cowgirls defense was up, and there was nobody back on that carom off. Williams got it to the backside, and just like that, the Wolverines now with the lead.
18-17, they've battled back. Here's a serve by Davis. It's an ace for Jamie Davis. 19-17.
Just barely cleared the net right there. And
then it barely it hit the stick. I get a 19-17. So how about a 3-0 spurt for the Wolverines, who aren't ready to be done yet. Davis just puts that one
I'll tell you what, that's good heads-up play right there by Hayes, because it's so tempting, Trevor. You want to reach your hand out and keep that a play, and you just got to trust your court awareness, and she didn't. Ball too long.
Left-hand serve from Emily Hutt at 19-18. Viner down to a knee to get it. They'll set up a swing for Williams, who gets the kill and pushes it back up to a 2-point lead.
Well, good set right there as it gave Williams a chance. She didn't get it clean, but it hit the tape, and like she said, they count just the same.
You could have fooled me in saying this is the first game back from a knee injury, as Goodman puts that in the net.
Now, those are killers right there. Coach Viner knew we get that, and we're up 21-18. We can probably win this now. The door's still open for the Cowgirls here in set 3.
And serving is Eve Brumbaugh. Received on the right side, Goodman. On a bump, Thornburg, they return it, and Bobbin might have got away with being over. Here's a swing by Hayes, puts it in the back row for a kill.
Yeah, Bobbin misplayed that a little bit right there, and they didn't get a clean return on that and let the door open. The Cowgirls cleaned it up, and Coach Viner says, hey, I got to use my timeout now.
We'll use one with her. 20-20 here in set number 3 on the KMA video stream.
At PCSB, we believe in helping our customers and our community grow, and service is how we do it. This is about making banking better. We are here to serve. We have an innovative spirit and a heart for people that moves us to do what's right. Because at the end of the day, we know what matters most. Visit us online at wearepcsb.com. PCSB, we believe in you. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to Sidney here on the KMA video stream. Trevor Mader, Brian Bertini with you. This set 3, Brian, it's no one get any separation.
No, both teams have just traded points, as you mentioned, Trevor. Just Sidney got up by a couple. East Mills took the lead by 1. East Mills got up by 2 or 3. Sidney came all the way back. It was 2018 just a minute ago, now 2020. Sidney with the ball, serving. See if they can close this out and win this in 3 straight.
Counted 11 ties in this set as the serve received by East Mills. So return it with Williams, and they get the point out of it, makes it 21-20.
Yeah, it was in anyway. They called Harley Spurlock in the net, so either way it was going to be a point Wolverines, and they take this desperate lead. They need this one here, trailing 2-0 right now, and they have to have this one, and pretty good server with the ball right now.
Yeah, Aspen Kraus has had some luck tonight. Serve received by Dowling. Coming back to it, Sheldon. Kraus crouches down for it. Urban setting up a swing from Brodigan. It's shoveled up in the back row. Returned by Hayes into the back row. Kraus. Now Urban will go to work in the middle with Bobbin. Kept alive by Brumbaugh. Returned by Hayes, and Viner couldn't get it. It's a kill for Annika Hayes. How about our 12th tie of the set?
There's the spot. She went back corner. Viner not able to get it clean. And again, here's the spot right now if you're Sidney to close this out. Jamie Davis, Emily Williams on the side on the rotation. You got game tied, Trevor, and you got the serve.
Senior McKenna Lahman, 8 aces on the year, serves this one. Goodman gets it. Urban will set up a running Brodigan. Brodigan too much mustard on it, and it's a 22-21 Sidney lead.
Now she had the right idea going deep corner, just didn't get enough down angle on it, and Sidney kind of right where they've been, Trevor, is with the ball serving with a point here, a chance to close it out.
Serve received by Viner. Urban will set up a swinging Brodigan. That time puts it in the back row cleanly, and it's 22 all.
Yeah, nice set. That time Brodigan got on top of that, got the down angle on the rotation. Miss Jamie Davis comes to the front line.
She had an ace earlier. 22-22. 2-zip Sidney leading the match. The serve by Viner, received by Sidney. They return it with Spurlock. Now here's a return by Brodigan, and it's a kill for East Mills.
She's come up big, Trevor, in the last couple, and not the biggest power hit, but found the spot. And
now Sidney takes a timeout. We'll stay here. Let's talk about that, Brian. Riley Brodigan, you're kind of quiet all night. A couple of big kills has East Mills at a 23-22 lead.
Yeah, and she missed a couple opportunities. Prior to that, looked like that it might be the difference maker that kind of turned the tide for the Cowgirls. But boy, Riley responded, made a big kill one before that, comes back with 2, and now she's got her team on the doorstep of taking set 3.
23-22. Sidney took set 1. I believe it was 25-22. And then they took set 2, 26-24. Had to hang around pretty much in the first part of the set, but then were able to take a lead. But East Mills has battled back, and they lead 23-22. They're trying to force a 4th set. There's a serve from Kobe Viner. It's received by Brumbaugh on the swing. Hayes was in the net. Yeah, 24-22.
They were going to get a point, too, because East Mills couldn't return that, but Hayes and momentum carrying the net. And East Mills, as you mentioned, they're not going to go quietly.
And Sidney going to burn their final timeout. We'll take a quick one with them on the KMA video stream.
For over 25 years, Chat Mobility has provided you the latest technology, competitive prices, and a nationwide high-speed network. Though important, we're a whole lot more. We serve your hometown communities, sponsor your local chambers and events. It's our goal to work hard while giving back to those who graciously support us. At Chat Mobility, our interests are much deeper than providing great service. We're just committed to serving you. To learn more, see us at chatmobility.com today.
Welcome back to Sidney on the KMA video stream. East Mills has it at set point, 24-22 in set 3. Trying to keep this one alive. Kobe Viner serves it. Dowling setting up a swing by Hayes. It's long. We're going to play a 4th. East Mills wins at 25-22.
Well, they hung around. They got a couple big points they needed, Trevor. It looked like Sidney might find a way to come back and win this and close out and finish the night off. But the Wolverines, Riley Brodigan hit a couple spots, turned the tide, made a play, took set 3, and here we go, as you mentioned. Let's go on to play number 4.
Not done yet. We'll take a break. 4th set coming up here in a moment.
Nutrien Ag Solutions is your leading agricultural retailer of crop inputs and expert solutions. And they're your choice in the region for top-of-the-line products and customer service. When nothing short of the best is your standard, talk with Nutrien Ag Solutions in Westboro, Missouri, Coyne, Percival, and Essex, Iowa for fall application and products. Nutrien Ag Solutions, growing your crops and your bottom line.
There's no better time than game time to catch up with friends, enjoy a cold beverage, and let someone else prepare the delicious food. And there's no better place than Stadium 34 in Red Oak. Kitchen, cocktails, and sports are all offered at the Stadium 34 Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. and weekends from 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. Serving delicious breakfast, lunch, and dinner, plus banquet rooms and catering options are available. Call 623-1021 or better yet, stop by Stadium 34 at 1200 7th Avenue in Red Oak.
Welcome back to Sidney here on the KMA video stream. Trevor Mander, Brian Bertini with you. And Brian, East Mills down 2-0, not ready to go home yet. They battle back at the 25-22 win in the third set.
No, they made some plays they had to make. They stuck around. They were good on the serves. I thought they really cleaned up some things, made some nice plays, got the ball to their big hitters, Williams and Davis. But it was kind of Brodigan that kind of turned the tide right there late in that set 3.
At the 23rd and 24th points for East Mills, we had 13 ties in that frame. Nobody led by more than 2 until the final point that made it 25-22.
And if you're Sidney right now, you want to close this out in 4. You do not want this to go 5, race to 15 with Davis and Williams, the big hitters on the side for the Wolverines.
Here's a serve from Mia Foster, very flat foot serve. East Mills goes on the attack. Davis off the tape, pushes it back over. They're going to say it never cleared.
Yeah, it didn't.
And it's 1-0 Sidney to start this set.
Yeah, I think it's important to see if the Cowgirls can get a little separation early here, Trevor, and really make this uphill climb for the Wolverines.
Serve received in the back row by East Mills. Urban setting up in the middle for Brodigan. Diving to get that was Lama. Now Brumbaugh. Viner kept it alive for a moment, but then nobody was there on Goodman's hit. Makes it 2-0.
Couple missed hits by the Wolverines. Quick work by the Cowgirls.
2-0 advantage Sidney early on of this fourth set. Took set 1, 25-22. Mia Foster has that one received by Goodman. Underneath it goes Urban. They'll return the flat foot swing by Davis. Dowling had to send it back. Walks the tightrope. Brumbaugh, big swing. Pushed up Kraus. Bumped by Goodman. Returned by Brodigan. Into the front row, Brumbaugh. Dowling setting up a back set for Payne, who puts it down. 3-0.
Caden says, well, I want to go middle, but it kind of come off the side of my hand, and it ended up the perfect spot. So maybe that's what you wanted.
Landed in. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Coach McClintock says, you know what, we'll work on the accuracy part. Let's just get the point.
So 3-0 Sidney. The Cowgirls have scored the first 3 points of this set, almost a fourth, but they return it with Urban. Then Dowling kept it alive on the attack. Brumbaugh walked the tightrope for a moment. They get it across with Davis, but wide, and it's a 4-0 Sidney lead. And Brian, how quick, if you're East Mills, do you contemplate a timeout?
Well, I think Coach Vino will probably wait here, but Emily Hutt stuck her hand out, Trevor, kept that ball alive, and again, they found a way to get a point.
Served by Foster. Kraus didn't get it cleanly. Davis, they got to return it with Kraus. They do. Here's Dowling. She'll set up in the middle. Payne, that's a kill. 5-0.
Well, good job. Again, the free return over, but you got to do something with when you get it, Trevor. It's kind of like getting a turnover in basketball. Just because you get one, you got to cash it in, and the Cowgirls did right there, and boy, they've raced out to the biggest lead we've seen tonight, 5-0.
11th kill for Caden Payne. Here's Foster serving that one. Hutt went down to a knee to get it. On the attack, Brumbaugh was deflected by Urban. Sidney scrambling. Davis got a hand on it. Somebody was in the net. They're going to say Davis was in the net.
I think she was over the line right there in the top. And, again, Emily Hutt just keeps balls alive, Trevor. And, you know, those little things kind of get noticed. You look for the big hits and stuff like that, but it's those little secondary plays that give your team points.
6-0 advantage Sidney. Now Davis, left-hand swing. Foster barely got a hold of that one. And it'll be the first point of the night, or the set for East Mills on the Jamie Davis
I was
skill.
surprised she even got to it. You know, made a reasonable play up, as you mentioned. Kind of a sigh of relief right there for the Wolverines and Coach Viner.
There's Maya Urban to serve. Hutt under it. Dowling will push it on the left side. Brumbaugh. Viner lunges for it, but nobody there. Urban tried to come and make the play.
Deflected and had that crazy kind of spin, Trevor, and it just, the team's trying to set up the setter right there. Couldn't get to it. And just like that point out, and Sidney looking to maybe run away here early.
They would like that. 7-1. with Avery Dowling at the service line. Received by Goodman. Urban will set it on the right side. It drops on the Sidney side. Dowling, or excuse me, Brumbaugh tried to kick it off.
Payne did too. I mean, you can do that. It's legal to kick it over. I've seen it happen. I think it happened in Nebraska National Championship game. She kicked one over on a big point, but it's not how you want to practice it.
I did a high school game, I think it was last year, where somebody did that, and I don't remember where it was. But it's 7-2 nonetheless. Sidney leading East Mills. Here's a serve coming from Jenna Thornburg. Received by Hutt. They'll go big swing Sheldon. Davis was there. Davis tees up again. It's deflected. Hutt. Sidney scrambling. Left side. Third time the charm. Brumbaugh. Nope. Scooped by Urban. Swing by Davis. Dug out by Dowling. Bump by Hutt. On the left side, right side, Sheldon was deflected by Williams, so Sheldon returns it. Urban pushes it up. Williams on a free ball into the front row. Dowling to Sheldon, put it in the net, and it's 7-3.
Yeah, it was a tough angle for Sheldon. Right? They just couldn't get it. Both teams kind of out of sync and sorts right there, but East Mills, most important thing is they found a way to get that point, Trevor.
So Jenna Thornburg continues to serve against 7-3. Sidney leading East Mills, leading the match as well, 2-1. Hutt, they'll return it with Brumbaugh into the back row. Viner. Urban setting up a swing for Goodman. Was it deflected by Sidney? It was. Mia Goodman gets the winner, and it's 7-4.
The lefty right there just got a piece of it, like you said, to kind of carry him out of bounds. And a couple quick points for the Wolverines as they were down 7-1, Trevor.
Yep. So 3 in a row with Thornburg at the stripe. That's received by Sidney. Brumbaugh will set it back, or Dowling set it back to Brumbaugh, and East Mills, they hit the floor, and Sidney will play off of it. Left side, Brumbaugh drops it down, 8-4 the
That's
edge.
the best defense sometimes is that little tip over the top. Emily Williams made a nice save on the play prior to that, but East Mills unable to capitalize on that. Point, Cowgirls side, ball serve, and they'd love nothing more now with an 8-4 lead, trade points.
Emily Hutt with the serve, 8-4. Thornburg got underneath it. Williams will send it to Davis. Covering a lot of ground was Foster. Now a big swing for a kill. Eve Brumbaugh on the assist from Avery Dowling. And it's 9-4. Brumbaugh back-to-back kills.
Well, the girl here with the serve has been really impressive tonight on the floor and behind the serve line. Here she is.
11th kill for Brumbaugh. Another serve coming from Hutt. Urban will set up Williams on the left side, puts it down, and it's 9-5.
Well, there's the difference maker. Until this match, East Mills hasn't had that girl that can just kind of stop the bleeding quickly. And Emily Williams providing, as you mentioned, she looks pretty confident on that knee, doesn't she?
Yeah, you could fool me. Davis' serve. Hutt got it. Teed up, though, for Goodman. It was off a deflection back to Hutt. They return it with Spurlock, who now goes back to the middle. Here's a swing. Goodman somehow kept alive by Brumbaugh, and I think somebody was on the line with Spurlock.
Again, the lift. Everybody kind of relaxed. The Wolverines thought it was dead. No whistle, so you keep going. And then finally a whistle.
Yeah. Sidney gets popped for the lift, and it's 9-6. They lead here in set number 4. Jamie Davis with the flat foot serve. Puts it wide, and it's 10-6.
That classifies as a shank, doesn't it?
Yes.
Sometimes it just comes off. You're like a golf shot that goes out of bounds, and now you're hitting 3.
I would have a lot of those.
Matheny would do that, wouldn't he?
He would. He very much would. 10-6 the score. Here in set 4, advantage to Sidney. The serve coming from Brumbaugh. Pushed to the back row. Williams to Goodman. Not sure that was by design. They return it with Urban. Now Hutt, Dowling. They want to go left side. Hayes. Was it tipped? It was not, and it's 10-7.
Yeah, Hayes loaded up on that. Just didn't get the down angle she wanted. Sidney unable to capitalize on that.
Serve received by Dowling, who will set it back to Sheldon. 2 Wolverines come sliding in. Viner and Goodman did. The problem is that nobody else was there to defend the side.
Wow, once it went sideways toward the bench there, there's nobody going to get to it.
So it's 11-7.
Good response by Sidney here to come out in set 4 after Wolverines had taken set 3.
McKenna Lahman serves it kind of at an angle. Williams plays it. Now Urban will set it back to Williams, and it drops for another kill from Emily Williams.
Wow, and she cleaned it up. Unfortunately, she's on that spot in the rotation where she's going to go out and bring in the server. And Miss Aspen Krause has been really effective. She was a big part of why they won set 3.
Her and Riley Brodigan, maybe two of the names you don't necessarily think about when you think about East Mills offense. They were big in set 3. Hutt got the serve. Dowling will get it to Foster, who pushes it across. Now East Mills chance on a return. Brownigan shoveled out in the back row, though. Sidney, they'll return it with Brumbaugh from the back row. It doesn't clear the tape, and it should be 4 hits. It was because it never cleared.
Right.
It's 11-9.
As we watch these two teams play, Trevor, I mean, we just redo this again near the end of September, maybe the corner conference tournament. And you know what? When the girls' union pairings come out, it might be that these two teams kind of look at each other again, right?
Spurlock with the swing. Brownigan and Bobbin were there on the front line. And don't look, it's a 1-point set here in set number 4.
Again, Sidney knows the importance. You do not want to let this East Wolverines team hang around, push this to set 5.
Served by Krause. Here's a swing on the right side. Spurlock scooping it is Urban. They have to send it across with Goodman. Lahman to Dowling, sends it back. Brumbaugh, they've liked that spot on the floor, and with good reason, that's a kill from Eve Brumbaugh.
Kobe Reiner, it just climbed up her shoulders, got too high on the arm. She couldn't get it popped up and carry him back off the wall, and Sidney with a chance here again.
12-10, and here's Carly Graham to serve. From the right side of the court, goes right to left, and it was hit at the net. Urban got a hand on it, then puts it down for the kill to Audrey Bobbin.
And Bobbin with a nice recovery right there, kind of hit the floor, bounced up, and got it over the net. Sidney can't get to the floor space that they wanted to cover the hole. And again, East Mills just hanging around right now, Trevor.
See Harley Spurlock come back into the rotation. No, she'll come out. Hutt will come in.
This was 5-0 to start this match, this set, wasn't it?
6-0.
6-0, yeah.
And now it's 12-11 Sidney. Here's the serve from Kobe Viner. Into the back row. Now Dowling works it to the front with Payne, who puts it down. And it's 13-11.
Wow, it's a good place to go. Davis a little bit late getting to the spot. Again, that tape's the friend, isn't it? Hits that tape, and right down she goes onto the floor.
Sidney trying to get a 4-set win over their corner conference foe. East Mills trying to take this to 15. On the attack, Davis. Man, when she gets a run at something like that, get out of the way.
Well, it is, and there's a lot of force behind it. Like I said, I think that those plexiglass windows there on the back edge of this south side of this gym better be break-free, because Jamie Davis could find out in a hurry.
It always seems like East Mills graduates the power hitter. They get another one back. As Sidney will go on the attack on the left-hand side. Brumbaugh. Davis pushes it back to Viner. They've got to get it over. They do with Goodman. Now Brumbaugh, Dowling, back set Payne, deflected by Brownigan and Davis that were there.
Yeah, good job on the block. They made sure that they followed and shadowed Payne as she slid over, and Payne kind of took that behind her head.
And she kind of overran it looked like, too. 13-all here in set number 4. The serve from Urban. Into the back row to Lahman. Dowling will set it from the middle of the court to Brumbaugh. Now East Mills sets it with Goodman to Davis in the middle. Kept alive by Lahman. Then Hutt with the bump. Returned by Foster. 2 Wolverines collide, but we're still playing through. Urban, Hutt, back row. Dowling setting it in the middle. Payne off a block. Somehow kept alive by Goodman. Now Payne with a bump to Dowling. It goes to Brumbaugh, but what a save made by Maya Urban. All for naught, though, as it goes wide.
Again, good athletic ability on both squads, getting to some balls, keeping things alive, giving your team a chance. They were a little out of sorts, but you keep playing, Trevor, and just a little bit by Urban, a little bit too long on that. And huge sigh of relief right there, side out, Cowgirls.
So 14-13, and then a service there stops that at 14-14.
That's big, because you kind of have a chance to get that momentum and kind of, as you creep closer to that 20-point mark, Trevor.
Right.
You know, that also, now look who's back in the front row.
Hey, you've got Emily Williams. This has been the front row that's really had some success for East Mills time with Williams and Davis. There's a serve coming from Thornburg. Dowling sets up Payne. It's pushed alive by Urban. Now Goodman setting up Williams. Ooh, Payne got a hand on it. Sent it back. Davis will go lefty and didn't get it all the way. At 15-14.
Well, again, I think it was a little bit off angle. I don't think she knew she could load up on it. Like she said, she tried to go offhand with the left one and kind of drop it in over there and not high enough over the net.
So Emily Hutt to serve. Left-handed from the left side of the floor. Williams push it up. Davis wants a big swing. Just didn't time the jump right. Puts it in the net, and Sidney back up to a 2-point lead.
She was trying to go corner right in front of us here on the Sidney fan side over here, and just couldn't get it, and like you said, hitting the net. 2 quick points, Cowgirls.
16-14, served by Hutt. Received by Williams. They'll set it to Davis. Cross court. That landed in.
Darn, she got it where she wanted, didn't she?
And that is a tough shot. When you're on the far right side, and, I mean, you're going.
Yeah, her momentum's carrying her one way, and then you got to get it over the net and get it down in the court, and she hits it in front of the attack line in the same spot. Just no way to get to that, Trevor.
16-15, big point for East Mills. Now Davis, the server. Sidney returns it with a push across from the back row and then teed up for Harley Spurlock.
Harley Spurlock says, okay, enough of this. Let's finish this point off. I don't want to miss this one.
When you're a hitter in the front line and you see one like that, the way the defense is out of sorts.
Well, her being the senior and she's been a 3 or 4 year starter, she says, okay, I know what to do with this.
17-15. I mean, you're salivating at that point because you know you've got a big chance in front of you. Here's the serve from Brumbaugh. Goes right to left. Goodman, Urban, swing by Williams, went gently with it. Sidney goes into the back row. They return it with Brumbaugh. Viner goes down to a knee. Now Urban has to send it back to Goodman. Goodman, big swing off a deflection down for the kill.
The deflection was the difference right there. It looked like Annika Hayes, I think, a little bit late getting up to the net cleanly, and big point right there, Wolverines.
17-16. Here's a serve by Goodman. Received to the back row by Brumbaugh. Dowling sets it back to Sheldon. Urban sacrificed herself for it. Can't get it across. And Fallon Sheldon, who's had a couple of nice kills tonight, pushes it back up to 18-16.
Oh, we traded miss hits. That net, that tape, it's just so hard to get a good read on it. And right now, Sidney with a 2-point lead. They'll take the trade points, Trevor.
McKenna Lahman with the serve. Viner receives it. They'll set it to Williams. Williams put it in the net, and it's 19-16.
It took the set was not quite where she wanted, and missed opportunity right there for Emily. And no, they got the point.
Like I said, they gave it to her. It looked to me like.
Yeah, I did too, but she got it, and she goes out in the rotation, and Aspen Krause now with a chance to tie this up.
So flip that, 18-17. There's a swing by Spurlock. East Mills will scramble. Brodigan off a deflection. We're tied.
There she is again, Trevor.
Yeah, I think when you look at the stats tonight, Riley Brodigan might not be anything that, wows you
but
in
timing,
terms of numbers.
But think of the timing when she's getting her points.
Krause serves an ace. Hutt, one of the very few Hutt has not been able to receive cleanly tonight.
Well, this is the point, I think, in set 3 where it looked like Sidney had a chance, and then East Mills just kind of stayed right within striking distance. And as you mentioned, Riley Brodigan had 2 big ones on that 23-24. Close it out.
19-18. East Mills with the lead in the set. Return by by Dowling rather. Now on the swing, Brodigan kept alive for a moment. Brumbaugh, they got to return it with Hayes into the back row. Goodman. Urban will set up left side. Brodigan kept alive by Hayes. Pushed across by Spurlock in the middle. Now East Mills with a chance. Brodigan tight to the net. Can't get it to go. Spurlock, I believe it was Dowling, got a paw on it. We're tied at 19.
Wow, and this is the point too. Coach McClintock and the Cowgirls know. Williams and Davis they're on the sideline right now in the rotation the way it is. You've got Caden Payne back in your front line. You've got a good server here, and you got a chance to close this out, Trevor.
There's a serve from Graham. It's received by Goodman. Coming up to it to set is Urban to Brodigan. Sidney with a play on it. Front row. Payne kept alive, though, and pushed across by Urban. Down to a knee went Brumbaugh to keep it. Now Dowling sets it. East Mills will scramble. Urban, Brodigan hits the tape in the net, and it's a 2019.
Wow, that was a tough
Sidney
angle
lead.
by Riley. She just couldn't find her spot to get that over the net. And again, this is that point where Davis and Williams, you don't have that front line presence, Trevor, right now.
She had the right idea. Just missed time to jump by a little bit. Now on the attack, Brodigan off a deflection. Tight to the net. Free ball returned by Dowling. They'll set up in the middle. Bobbin somehow kept alive in the back row. Graham, they return it with Dowling. Urban setting up a swing from Brodigan. It's dug out. Brumbaugh bumped by Graham. Dowling sends it over, but there's Bobbin. Flat foot swing. Urban pushed up in the back row by Sidney. Bumped by Dowling, and then Brumbaugh didn't get it the way she wanted.
Well, and Sidney was kind of content with just kind of tipping it over the net and not setting up your hitter, Caden Payne, and I think they kind of missed some shots right there.
20-20. They're in set 4. The serve from Viner into the back row. They'll return it from the middle of the court with Graham. Urban, Davis just taps it over, but Brumbaugh was there in the net. Hayes, they're going to get, they're going to get Hayes. Her and Urban, I think, collided.
She ran through the net.
You knew there was going to be a net call coming from one side. It was just a matter of which.
Well, and on the rotation there, Viner serving, Davis gets to come back in the front line. And, now for East Mills, you got a 1-point lead and one of your big hitters in the front. See if you can set her up.
21-20, East Mills trying to force a fifth, but Kobe Viner sends that serve.
Well, in baseball, that's good. Or softball, that's off the wall for 2 or 3, Trevor. But in volleyball, that's a little too long, isn't it?
And we're knotted at 21. So we had, I believe, 11 ties in the first set, 13 in the second. We've had our fair share in this one. So Urban will set up in the middle. Brodigan, bumped by Hutt. Brumbaugh taps it over. Brodigan got a palm on it, and then Urban just pushed it along. That was Krausauer. She did not miss by much.
No, and McKenna Lahman really had to watch that, Trevor. She had to trust. Good job by the Sidney bench. They called it long. She listened to her teammates and let it go.
Sidney timeout. We'll stay here, Brian. Right now, Sidney up 22-21. They're 3 points away from winning this match, but it's been back and forth. If you're Coach Connie Viner, what are you telling your team?
Get ready for the return. Let's go to our hitters. Let's see if we can get a good bump, get a good set. Let's see if we can go to Jamie Davis. See if we can get her a spot right there. Let's go to the big hammer because, boy, you called it, Trevor. When she can load up, there's a lot of power behind that. And if she does that, we'll get a chance to bring Emily Williams back in on the rotation. So, big point right here. Sidney can bump this up to 23-21. Then you always figure there's always one mistake point that somebody makes. But you do not want to push this to 22-22 and let East Mills have the ball with a tie game.
So serving for Sidney looks to be Mia Foster. They got Payne, Brumbaugh, and Dowling on the front line. The serve received. Davis goes front line. East Mills, it was in. And it's a 22-22
call. It
tie.
wasn't the most ideal set, but credit Jamie Davis for adjusting on that. And, boy, the hammer came through, didn't she, Trevor?
So it's 22-all, and they'll put Maya Urban at the service stripe. East Mills trying to force a race to 15 in this Tuesday night corner conference doozy. Served by Urban. Hutt didn't get it well, and then it drops. Foster and Lahman both backed off of it. It's an ace for Maya Urban. It's a 23-22 lead for East Mills.
A little miscommunication on the back row right there.
And Urban, one of our 10 names to know when we started the fall sports season, will continue to serve, but after a Sidney timeout, Coach Amy McClintock wanted to regroup her team a little bit. Been a fun one, Brian. 23-22 here in the fourth set, East Mills.
Well, both squads, of course, Coach Viner kind of admonishing her team right now. Look, the first thing is get the serve over. Don't do a giveaway point, Trevor. Second, be ready. They're probably going to look to see if they can go to Caden Payne. Where's she going to set up? Where's our defense? Let's make sure we get the rotation we want. And if we get a return as well, let's see if we can go back to the girl who just got point 23 for us, Jamie Davis.
So another serve coming from Urban, who just served that ace a moment ago to make it a 23-22 set. She gets another. It's 24-22.
Well, that just knuckled and died right there. I think Coach McClintock going to use timeout number 2.
Take that one, so we'll take it with her. East Mills trying to force a fifth here in Sidney.
Nutrient Ag Solutions is your leading agricultural retailer of crop inputs and expert solutions. And they're your choice in the region for top-of-the-line products and customer service. When nothing short of the best is your standard, talk with Nutrient Ag Solutions in Westboro, Missouri, Coyne, Percival, and Essex, Iowa for fall application and products. Nutrient Ag Solutions, growing your crops and your bottom line.
Welcome back to Sidney here on the KMA video stream. On the attack goes Payne. It's kept alive by East Mills. Hutt underneath it. Now Dowling setting up Brumbaugh. It's in the net. They got to return it. They won't. We're going to play a fifth here in Sidney. Wow.
Well, and that's why you hang around. And it looked like maybe Sidney in set 4 jumped out to that 7-1 lead, Trevor. They might just kind of pull away early, but they didn't. And East Mills found a way, and now, like you said, we're going to play set 5. We didn't expect anything less than this, though, really, did we?
I was hoping for this. A 4-0 run by East Mills to end the set. We're going to play a fifth here in Corner Conference Volleyball action on the KMA video stream.
When people ask me what my dad does, I still don't have exactly the right answer. This is Sadie, and my dad is Shane from Schaff Ag. I know he takes calls and texts early in the morning and late at night. I know he does research to find the best products at the best prices. And I know he says, I'll get that done for you. But I guess I'm still not sure what all is involved in every aspect of agronomy. But I know my dad does it all. Call Shane at Schaff Ag and see for yourself. 712-520-1333.
Iowa Western Community College has important news for you. If you're a high school senior trying to figure out what your next step in life will be after high school, consider this. Students learning trade-specific skills will get you into the workplace quicker, making a good living and having a lot less college debt. Iowa Western offers 1 to 2 year programs in nursing, welding, industrial tech, and advanced manufacturing, plus many others. Great skills and great pay in less time. Talk to Iowa Western Community College in Clarinda and Shenandoah and start planning your future now.
Welcome back to Sidney here on the KMA video stream. Trevor Mater, Brian Bertini with you. We go to the 5th. East Mills has battled back, and Brian, you said it earlier, wouldn't expect anything different.
No, I mean, Sidney won a tight one 25-22. They won a really tight one 26-24. East Mills responded, as you know Coach Viner's squad's going to do. They took set 3, 25-22. Set 4 was the one. Sidney jumped out to that 7-1 lead, Trevor, and we both thought that, okay, they got it together, but and East Mills found a way, hung around, finished it off late. And here we go to the best thing about volleyball is set number 5, right?
So race to 15. Maya Urban looking to get East Mills started off on the right foot. The Wolverines 9-6 on the year, 2-0 in corner conference action. And the serve is in. There's a left side swing on the front row of Payne. Bumped by Williams, so return it with Brodigan. Brodigan with a spin on it. Brumbaugh was there. Dowling, left side. Hayes off a deflection. Williams gets it. Now Urban. Brodigan comes running in. Sidney plays it from the back row. Here's a swing by Hayes off a deflection again. Williams was there. Pushed over by Urban. Bumped by Hutt. In the middle, front row. Payne. Viner kept it alive. Somehow we're still over. Brodigan gets it. I don't know how Viner kept that alive. Now a big swing. Payne is in the net, and that is a huge save.
It is. Well, again, no whistle. You don't hear a whistle, Trevor. What do?
Keep on playing.
Keep playing, and they got to the spot that time, kept it alive, and got the point. And when you're going to 15, your margin for error really shrinks.
Maya Urban barely gets one over the tape, and it's an ace. She had the big run towards the end of the 4th with back-to-back aces.
Right, and there's that serve. If you could, like you said, if you could master that serve, you could win a match all by yourself, couldn't you?
So going back to the 4th set, it's a 6-0 East Mills run with 3 Maya Urban aces sprinkled in there. Dowling sets up Payne. It was deflected. Sidney's got to get it over. They will with Emily Hutt. Into the back row to Emily Williams. Urban to Goodman off the tape. Hutt pushes it up. Bumped by Hayes. Swing by Hayes for a winner in the back row.
Big one by Annika Hayes right there. Yeah, she's got to have that because 3-0, it feels way different than race to 15 than 2-1. Agreed?
Absolutely. And Viner and Williams both came sliding in. Did a good job of not colliding with each other first, but it hit between them, and it's 2-1 with Maya Foster to serve. One almost on a line. Viner, Urban in the net, and Goodman was well over right in front of the official.
She just couldn't stop her momentum and just carried her right through. And 2-0 looked like Sidney might go deep, but one thing, nobody left this gym, did they?
No.
They knew what was going to happen.
Serve from Foster is an ace. Williams and Goodman just didn't communicate there.
And of all the sets, volleyball itself is a very momentum-shifting sport, but of all the ones, set 5 is one where 3 or 4 points can just change the whole complexion of the set.
Another serve by Foster. Viner didn't get it the way she wanted. It's another ace.
And Coach Viner knows I can't let this get too far. Right now it's 4-2. That's 3 in a row here, 4 in a row by the Cowgirls.
Yeah, East Mills had a 6-0 run dating back to the 4th, and Foster gets that one over. It's received by Goodman. Urban in the back row. It's in the tape 5-2. Out. So Sidney and Brian Foster. Serve. Last one, they barely cleared. It kind of did.
Going, Emily Williams trying to get her to that first. She'll hit, and then she was in the back when they get it back to her. They just don't do that. And credit a nice serve, and it's a tough turn. 2-0 start of the Wolverines, like they might kind of get that little message, but the Cowgirls, Annika has got that forever since then. Serving Foster here, been impressive. You look at coaches, I think, got it set up. Caden Payne closed it, and 6-2, pushing to 15.
So the kill by Payne makes it 6-2 advantage Sidney here in the 5th. On the attack goes Bronigan. They'll set it up to Brumbaugh. Davis was there, as was Goodman. Here's on the attack again. Brumbaugh down. It walked along the tape for a moment.
There's the tape again, and now that number 7, and 7-2 right now. And Coach Viner knows this point here may be the critical one of the match.
Serve from Foster, left to right. Davis, it barely cleared. Davis gets it to Urban. Now big swing, Goodman. It was played by Foster. They got to return it with Lahman. They do. Goodman, Davis, dugout Hutt. Dowling setting up. Payne puts it down.
Wow, mark that point down. That 8-point right there might be the biggest one for the Cowgirls. Hutt and the other girl here ran over here. I think it was Lahman, wasn't it?
Yeah, Lahman, and then Caden Payne gets it down. You could say for East Mills that one might have been painful. Couldn't help myself. Maya Foster to serve. 8-2 advantage Sidney. Urban to Davis in the middle. Received in the back row by Sidney. Dowling back to Payne, who puts another one down.
She might have got away with a little bit of a carry there. She got her fingertips, and she's kind of smiling too, but it doesn't matter because the point counts at 9-2, and Coach Viner says, I got to burn my last time out, Trevor.
Caden Payne's got 16 kills tonight. She's had 3 of the last 4 points for Sidney, really coming on as of late, as you might expect from a seasoned piece like Caden Payne.
Again, this has really started probably with the serving of Foster, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, very much so.
I mean, she's put the Wolverines on the defensive. They can't get a good, clean return. They haven't been able to kind of get their offensive set to their hitters. And so, and she's getting it over the net, not just getting, the serve on the defense. She's done a nice job of kind of mixing it up. So she's got to continue. And Coach Larson gave her a little pep talk right there. Say, hey, keep this rolling. Let's close this out.
So Maya Foster will continue to serve. Again, if you're just tuning in, Sidney took the first 2 sets, 25-22, 26-24. East Mills fouled back to win sets 3 and 4 to set up this race to 15. And Foster with an ace makes it 10-2.
She says, you know what? I don't even want anybody to touch this. Let's just do the ace here.
And East Mills out of timeouts as well.
And the 10-2 feels now you got that little wiggle room that you're looking for Coach McClintock.
Foster gets one to barely clear the tape and puts it down.
There's no defense for that, is there, Trevor?
No.
I mean, East Mills is doing everything right on that spot. It just hits the tape and crawls down, and now the hole really got deep.
11-2. Williams receives that one. It's timed up by Payne, but East Mills plays it. Now here's a swing. Browning in front row through a deflection. Hutt digs it out. Dowling back. I think she double hit it. We haven't had many of those calls tonight. They're called.
No,
that might be the first one.
They're going to call somebody in the net or out of
that's what it looked like.
Out of rotation, maybe.
He's away from the ball. Makes it 11-3. Or no, they're going to say it was on East Mills, 12-2.
Yeah, I think they were out, on the serve. They were out of rotation, I think. Maybe that's what the little confusion on the East Mills. I think Coach Viner wanted to sub in somebody right there, and they didn't get it, so I think they were out of sync.
So 12-2, and the hole just continues to get steep for the Wolverines. Served by Foster. Received by Goodman. They'll swing it with Goodman. Pushed up in the back row, Foster. Big swing from the front row. Brumbaugh was off the tape. I don't think it ever cleared. It didn't. 12-3.
I think that was 12 points in a row by Foster on the serve, wasn't it?
Yes, because it was 2 zips.
Exactly. I thought she might end up serving the whole set.
12-3 Sidney for the money trip to the line for Mia Foster.
No mistake errors now for the Wolverines. You got to play mistake-free volleyball.
Thornburg's serve received by Lahman. On the swing in the middle, Payne hit sky high by Goodman. Urban had to play it off the rafters. Now a swing by Williams, scooped out by Foster. Davis got it. Oh, no, she didn't get it over, and East Mills can't get it over on 3.
Kind of an awkward thing, and, sometimes they're right, just the right spot, right time, and I think the Cowgirls now can feel this, Trevor.
13-3, a lot of things. This is the largest lead of the night at any point.
I think a lot of credit has to go to Mia Foster. It's just laser-like serve she had.
And as we say that, the run in, she puts one just long. Makes it 13-4.
I think that actually was Dowling on the serve on that one.
Yeah, it would have. Yeah, you're right. It would have been. Served by Davis, received by Hutt. Dowling to Brumbaugh. Kept alive by East Mills. Will return it with Thornburg. to Payne. Dowling setting up Payne in the middle. Was it in? It was not. It was 13-5.
Well, 13-5 is 13-5, Trevor. It's not 15, is it?
It is
so,
not.
It suddenly gets 13-6, 13-7, and Coach McClintock might have to think about calling a timeout. Now what?
And they're going to flip it and say, they're going to flip it.
Were they saying it was tipped? Or?
Yeah, they're saying it was tipped. And that is big because that puts us at match point at 14-5. Emily Hutt to serve. Confusion here tonight in Sidney. Left-hand serve by Hutt. Received by Goodman. They'll set up Williams in the middle. She'll get one more kill.
She says, you know what? You haven't got 15 just yet. We've seen this crazy things happen. We've seen some teams on the verge of just closing it out, and 6 points down, they come all the way back.
So the serve by Goodman. Here's a left side swing. It's long by Spurlock, and it's 14-7.
Just like that, and, you get the serve over, a few mistake errors, and then all of a sudden everything gets a little bit tighter too, Trevor.
Another serve coming from Goodman. You have no margin for error, though, if you're East Mills. Spurlock gets it over. Williams bumps it. Urban, they'll go back to Williams. Williams, another winner.
Yeah, if I can get the ball to her, you don't need a margin of error because
no.
There's nobody that can block it right now. That's 4 points in a row for the Wolverines.
So 14-8 now. And Hutt
I think
played
that was out.
And it's going to drop, and it's now 14-9. How about a 6-0
You can see
run?
Coach McClintock right there saying, ladies, that was out. Hey, and you can take your chances with the lead if it goes out, but that was non-returnable, and it's getting close.
14-9, serve in. And a swing by Brumbaugh in the back row. Sidney says goodnight. Eve Brumbaugh just paints the corner, and the Cowgirls turn around. They win it 25-22, 26-24, 22-25, 22-25, 15-9 for a big corner conference win. Brian Bertini, your thoughts?
Well, we knew coming in that both these teams were going to battle like this, and it was going to be close, and I didn't think we thought Sidney could jump out 2-0. We thought it might be more of that 1-1, 2-1, 2-2 thing, but boy, credit Coach Viner and the squad. They get Emily Williams back for the first time all year, and they responded in set 3. Not only that, they did what they had to do, pushed it 1 set 4, pushed it to that race to 15, but a great start, boy, on the serving of Mia Foster in set 5 for the Cowgirls. 12 in a row, Trevor. They're down 2-0. She pushed it all the way to a 12-2 lead, and when you got that kind of lead pushing 15, you got a lot of cushion, and East Mills just, as you mentioned, had to play mistake-free all the way, couldn't do it. Finish it off. Nice win for the Cowgirls here in the conference tournament, or conference game.
That was a fun one. How about East Mills just battling back on the road down 2-zip?
Yeah, and like I said, both teams responded. There were some names that you didn't think, we thought Riley Brodigan had, of all the ones, set 3, she just kind of turned the tide on that. She came up big. Emily Hutt was solid all night. Just some girls. Mia Foster serving. Nice win. And got some games coming up for these teams, too.
Yeah, so Sidney, they move to 12-8 on the year. They'll get Fremont Mills next Tuesday in corner conference action.
Nope.
I was looking at that wrong. They've got the Red Oak Invitational this weekend. They move to East Mills, 9-7. They'll get Fremont Mills on Tuesday. So, as the season goes along, it doesn't get any easier.
No, and, as we hit this midpoint of September, the corner conference tournament, as you mentioned, coming up in a couple weeks, and then suddenly you're in October and the tournament tournament's in. So, this is the time right now where you want your teams playing your best volleyball, because you want a good draw and you want to set yourself up for a great finish here to close out this season.
So a fun one here tonight in Sidney. The Cowgirls get the 5-set win over their corner conference foe, and that'll do it tonight. We'll have a full rundown for this one available online later on tonight, KMAland.com. We've got more volleyball coverage coming your way Thursday night. Carson Schubert will be in Griswold for Southwest Valley at Griswold on KMA 960. Meanwhile, I will be in Oakland for AHS-TW Riverside on KMA FM 99.1. Both those games will be video streaming as well. We're looking forward to those. Until then, saying so long from Sidney. For KMA Sports and Brian Bertini, I'm Trevor Mader saying thanks for listening and have a great night.
This sporting event on KMA has been brought to you by the Sportscasters Club.